guy that created all this, these mock drafts, and the reason why you watch the draft in the first place, right? I always tell the story, I'm starting out in sports broadcasting being about 14, 15 years old. I think I was about 15, 16 years old. And I have the Mel Kiper draft report, and somehow I lose it. So I'm supposed to go on TV and do a mock draft of who I think the Bucs are going to go for. Now, at the time, being biased, I saw I wanted Simeon Rice to be the guy. Of course, he wasn't there. He got drafted by 3. Mel said that Simeon was not going to be there. I should have taken Mel's advice. The point was that I lost his draft report, called him on the phone, talked to him, and he actually sent me a copy of that draft report signed. True story. Absolutely. Nothing but respect for Mel Kiper Jr. Awesome. Still messed up on the mock draft. But I had the information right in front of me. You could have just gone with Mel. You should have gone with Mel. You would have been right on that, and I didn't. I went with somebody else. And, of course, the Bucs that year, I believe, ended up, and this was 96, drafting a Reagan Upshaw from California. I guess you guys remember that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition, your NFL mock draft, fan mock draft edition of the evolution of sports talk television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. And how do we start off this show as we've been doing it the last 8 years? Happy anniversary to the Sports Web. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. So here they are. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we will have various guests. I don't know how many guests we're going to have. I don't know how many fans we're going to have. I know we got KR there in the green room getting ready to select for the Washington Commanders. And then after that, whomever, because the link has been set out there, whomever wants to get on as a fan, you can go ahead and pick for your favorite team. And if you match, not watch, match your favorite team, what they do tomorrow night, and you get the pick right, we'll buy you lunch here on the Sports Web. And then also, happy 50th birthday to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about that? Buccaneers. Go Bucs. All right, so I just want to say this, and then we'll get out to my co-host, Mr. Harry the Greek, and we'll start the draft off as we always do here with the Chicago Bears the last couple years. But I just want to say thank you very much because, and I don't want to get too emotional, but this is emotional for me. This is my show. This is my life. This is the reason why I give out my personal phone number, my father, and my co-host, the former co-host of this show, Mr. Sean, the Sports Don. We never imagined in a million years. Actually, I'll take that back. We did imagine that this show would take off. It's bittersweet for me because I wish that they were here, but I know they are here in spirit, and I just appreciate the support of this show. When we started out on a small radio station, 1,000 watts, and we didn't know what to expect. And we did it in 2015 because we were talking about the NFL draft and about Jameis Winston going number 1 overall and the excitement in the Bay Area and taking phone calls at 1,000-watt radio station. And it really has evolved where we have 2 to 500,000 reach on Facebook, where we have multiple phone callers, where we have multiple, characters, where we have all kinds of guests every night, mostly. Well, Monday and Wednesday night. Seems like we're on here every night. But as the show started off, we really didn't know, what to expect because at the time, the first 2 callers were the owner of the radio station, as we told her that we were doing this, and it was on a Saturday, and she heard something, and she was ready to take me off the air and fire me, and the other, my other boss. Those were the first 2 calls. So it didn't necessarily get off to the best start, did it? But you guys, like I said, are the lifeblood of what this is. This is the evolution of sports talk television. Is it a TV show? Yes. Is it a radio show? Yes. Does it have phone calls? Always. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So once again, I really appreciate all the support here the last 8 years. You guys, once again, are the lifeblood of what we do here on the evolution of sports talk television. With that being said, as I try not to get too emotional about this because like I said, I could still remember my father. I still remember my co-host, and I still remember my mom with all of us sitting down and trying to put this together because I wasn't sure if I was cut out to be a host. And there are some nights on this show where, people would say, I can't believe you are a host. But she was confident in me, and I appreciate that. So this is a family affair. You guys are my family. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get my co-host on. Here we go. Professional handicapper extraordinaire of the sports web, my buddy right here who is taking over for Sean, who definitely has combined with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. It's been one of my favorite co-hosts, if not the main co-host of this show, Mr. Harry the Greek. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television, my friend. 8 years in the books, a couple years here on the sports web. I mean, it's flown by. I can't believe it. We're already talking about this and starting off on YouTube and getting the camera, and now we've come so long and so far. Welcome to the NFL mock draft edition of the evolution of sports talk television, my friend.
Not a problem, man. Hey, congratulations on 8 years, Peter. I've been around for about 4, but seriously, congratulations on 8 years. What an accomplishment it's been. The trials, the tribulations, we still seem to be fighting the same trials and tribulations, but you know what? We still keep pushing forward. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
People like to tune in, and, some people can rile my feathers every once in a blue moon, but you know what makes me more than happy? Getting under your skin sometimes.
Well, I tell you what, and that's the thing about it. And even when my dad passed away from his fight with cancer, it took me about 2 weeks, and that's how scared I was to lose the fan base, how scared I was to lose that momentum. And I know I necessarily wasn't in the right mindset, but at that point had to be in the right mindset because you're going to work, you're working on this show, you're trying to build this fan base from scratch. And like I said, we had 1,000-watt radio station. So we had
they don't count. You and I might as well be talking from across the street from each other.
I know. I mean, because you drive out of the driveway, and I met a lot of great people there. But like I said, you drive out of the driveway and there's no signal. So we had to come up with something, and this is where the evolution really originated from. So, and it's been 4 years with us, and it seems like it's been longer because we got such a great chemistry. I wasn't sure what to expect. Ray is also my co-host. Started out with him at Ferg's on the sidewalk there on Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. Some great people that were a part of the show and are still a part of the show. Leo Haggerty will be along later, throughout Dennis Phillips possibly coming on. I mean, I just want to I threw out the link out there. You don't have to necessarily pick for the Bucs, but if you want to, and you put up some, I know what, I'm just going to go ahead and buy you lunch any way it goes. If you get the Bucs pick right or you get your favorite team's pick right, I will buy you lunch. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want to go out to these comments here, Mr. Roger Shue. First, like always, going to be a great show. Super chats are open, so let's get Pete paid. He doesn't work for free. I appreciate
Acknowledge me.
Yes, Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats are absolutely open. KR booing as he is in the green room right now. So we'll go out to him after you make the first selection of this draft.
I do want to say one thing.
Yes.
Whoever comes on, I don't want avatars. We need people to come on, show their face, please.
Yes.
And then we can talk. I don't do the avatar thing. KR, turn it back on. I did see you there. I want to see them pearly whites. I do want to see them pearly whites when you come on. There you go.
All right.
There he is.
All right, we got it. So let's go.
What's up, KR?
Again, you're lucky, Roger. I was getting the link to join the draft. Absolutely. The link is out there. Come on. In the water's nice. KR says
water's warm.
Yeah, there you go.
Water's warm, baby.
What do you think of the Bears' new stadium? I mean, we'll go out. We'll start out with that. Yeah, the new stadium.
Listen, since the Bears do have the first pick and we're on a Tampa sports platform, let's talk Bears, damn it.
Let's do it. Why not? It's my show.
Listen, I was talking to Tom Banner earlier today. By the way, Tom, thanks a lot for tuning in. And he mentioned that Chicago is contemplating on building a stadium like right next to Soldier Field. And if anybody's ever been to the stadium, it's a pain in the ass to get there. It's a beautiful looking stadium, but he put some big captions. Don't you see the problem? I was like, no, what is it? And he goes, where are people going to park? Now, to the left of the stadium, if you look at it, there's like 1,000 boats there.
Right.
You got to park in the water. What are you going to do? Buy the McCormick place? Yes, the same place for McCormick salt. Buy the McCormick place, which is a half a mile south, and people have to walk in the middle of winter. Ain't happening. Look, the McCaskies are being nice. They're not trying to upset the nice, fine people of Chicago. But unfortunately, they've already got too much money invested. They're moving to Arlington where it should be. And besides, they're going to have a casino to make way too much money. And the other person that talked to me about this was Mr. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I turn 57.
Well,
Jeff Stassi. Jeff Stassi, yes. And he's another one who also mentioned it too. So I have to try to agree with them. Their stadium, this is all for naught. They're just trying to keep that current mayor and the people happy in the city of Chicago. But they're moving, and they're going to Arlington as they should.
Well, there you go. That's the developments today. And, of course, they got 2 first-round picks and, over, under, because you are a professional handicapper of this show. According to Vegas, a lot of rumors out there. 4.5 quarterback. I mean, what's a 4.5 quarterback? Is it over, under? Do you feel like there could be 6 quarterbacks that could go? You're talking about Caleb Williams at number 1. Jaden Daniels possibly at number 2. We'll see what KR does. I think that's where they're going to go. Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, Bo Nix. Who's the other quarterback that I'm forgetting at this point? Because there could be a plethora, not plethora, Ray Kennedy, Tampa Bay, best of the Bay there. Plethora of quarterbacks. So what's your over under? What's your thought process on these quarterbacks in this draft coming up?
I'm going to say in the first round, they're going to take 4 quarterbacks.
Okay. Who are they?
Come on, the most obvious ones. You know that.
Okay.
Seriously, it's going to be Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. It's going to be a toss-up between J.J. McCarthy and the kid from Washington.
I think they both go. Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah,
and I personally think it's going to be J.J. McCarthy because someone's enthralled with him, and I think that Penix makes it out of the first round.
No, I think he goes to the Raiders. I mean, that's where I would go with him at 12. I mean, if I'm the Raiders, he's the perfect prototypical Raider quarterback.
I think you're picking too high for him. Okay. At that point, I don't think the Raiders are going to make that kind of a mistake. I think they feel that they can get him down a little further.
I will bet you a Chicago hot dog.
No, Peter.
With no ketchup on it. Chicago hot dog.
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I'll have to take that bet because you eating a hot dog without ketchup, you're gonna have to bring your uncle with you as well.
Well, you bring my uncle, and I tell you right now, we bring your excitement, bring your passion. Just don't bring any nonsense.
KR is gonna have to see that one too because his uncle KR, you don't understand, man. Hey, you want a hot dog? Anybody want a hot dog?
Yeah.
I'm walking into Peter's house. He's carrying a ballpark Franks. These are really good, man. You want some hot dogs?
Right,
dude. Exactly. I'm just here to help him fix his car. No, let me make you a hot dog.
Well, he's a nice man, Uncle D.
I loved him. He's awesome. Hey, you want a hot dog?
But that's the joke in our family. Like he eats hot dogs every night with macaroni and cheese.
KR, you want a hot dog, buddy? Want a hot dog?
KR's looking up at the sky right now. He doesn't want any hot dog at this point, I don't think. All right, let's see. Let's go out to our phone caller here, and then we'll start off with the draft. Let's go out to the Tribal Troll.
Acknowledge me!
Mr. Roger Shue, welcome to the Evolution.
First of all, happy anniversary, Peter.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You've been along for the ride. I think the show has definitely gotten better from the days of, this goes all the way back to 10:10 a.m. on CBS Sports Radio. So, but that wasn't the sports web, so totally different show.
All right, so no hot dog, no ketchup on your hot dog.
No ketchup on the hot dog, yes.
If Harry gets his picks for the Chicago Bears wrong, Harry comes on the Sports Hub and eats a hot dog with ketchup. What do you say, Harry?
Can't do it.
Well, he's going to get one right. He's going to get Caleb Williams right.
I can't do it.
You can't do it?
No. The only one that can make me eat ketchup on a hot dog from Chicago is Jesus. Okay. Okay. If Jesus said, Harry, thou must have ketchup on the hot dog,
yes.
I'd look at him, but I go, no problem, Father. I'm there, buddy. I'm there.
All right.
I was just playing. By the way, I had Portillo's for lunch. I was thinking of Greek.
Oh well, thank you
Did
very
you?
much for the invite.
Yeah.
On the day,
Well,
that I'm not
you weren't there.
well, I had to produce the JP Peterson show, which by
You
the way,
had
you joined.
Portillo's Holmes.
Oh
Jeez.
man, like it was good shit, man. I got like the beef sandwich and it was lots of juice and the bread was good.
Did you have a baptized?
See?
See.
All right.
Anyway,
All right. What else, Raj?
So, oh yeah, I kind of like. Yeah, of course, it was baptized. Absolutely.
I'm sure everybody and their mother.
By the way, I beat you at work today. I'm just saying. There you
Just to let you guys know, the first pick, I'm going to shock the world.
Oh, you're gonna shock the world? See, because if you make that first pick, then nobody may get their pick right.
I'm shocking the world.
Shocking the world. All right.
That's all I'm going to tell you because
Well,
the Greek has inside information.
okay. All right.
And I'm not kidding you. I got this inside information about an hour ago.
Was it the man that was looking in the mirror at himself this
No.
morning? Was it him? No,
Nope.
I wasn't you.
Greek,
Okay. All right.
text me the inside info.
No, he's gonna give it
Can't.
right now.
You've got to watch and turn it in live. Hey, what time are we starting this whole
We're
debacle?
starting this right now. We're gonna read the rest of these comments and then we'll get out. We'll get out of here with that. Roger, thanks a lot for the call. Use that second call if you want to. All right. All right. Yeah, and he could call back too if he wants to be the. I don't know who's going to be. Are you going to make the pick for 9 or are you going to give it to Roger and let him make the pick?
I'll let Roger pick 9
All
if
right.
he wants. Him and I can debate it.
Roger, can you get on camera? Is that a possibility? I don't know if anybody wants to see that, but I'll send you the link or just call back on the line. All right. Let's see here. Hello, sir. I'm positive we're going edge. Jared verse or Chop. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chop.
Neither one of them are going to make it that far down.
I think there's certainly a possibility that verse. I don't know. We'll see how the draft plays out overall. I don't know if he gets past top 10. Chicago, Atlanta's on the board there. Denver possibly. Could he get past the Rams? If he gets in that 20 area, and this would be verse, and you know how I feel about this guy from Florida State, then I feel like Jason Light definitely has to make that call. That's definitely going to be something to watch. And then Chop Robinson, very raw prospect, ran the highest 40 time here for production, not necessarily there. So that's the red flag at the end of the day. But I was thinking of it, the Bucs have George Edwards. He worked with Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is from Penn State. Chop Robinson is from Penn State. So maybe the Bucs think, with that high ceiling they can get the most.
Are we really starting to do the one life to live General Hospital crap?
I am. Sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. This is what we do here, my friend, on this show. Connect the dots, A and B. Yeah, I noticed that too. Very interesting choice. Let's go out to Roger. Let's keep it short. Pete, Dynamite is on. This ain't going to be short. It's going to be about 3 hours. We'll go to 26 and we'll see how we're going because we won't do the whole draft if we don't have enough fans that are going to call in and beat you. I don't want to be here.
What we're going to do if we don't have enough fans, we'll do the top 10. And then we'll just make it an open thing for whoever wants to join us. Leave a comment, call, and tell us who your Buccaneers are going to take.
There you go. Our new AEW champ, Swerve, KR, NXT champion, Trick Williams. Absolutely a little wrestling talk there. I know you love that, Harry. Happy anniversary, Peter, and the Sports Web. Thank you, KR. Happy 50th, and go Bucks. Christopher Cole, we love you, buddy. Thank you, Christopher. Love you, too. Thank the Tribal Troll.
Acknowledge me.
Roger again. Been with him since day one. Kanakun, Queen Mina herself. Hey, Peter, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let's go out to Russ. Move up and take Joe Alt from Notre Dame. That would be a big move up if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's
You'd have to move up to the top 10.
Yeah, I can't see that. Good evening, Tim. Thanks.
Although I wouldn't hate the move, I have to be honest with you.
I don't either. Evening, fellas, says Christopher Cole. Thank you, Christopher. North Sports Dynasty. What's good, gents? What's going on? Andrew Fulbert. North Sports Dynasty, right there. Who do we trade with, and what do you give up? I think you have to give up an extra third if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's the reason why you're excited about getting that for.
Tell you what. If we move up 3 spots, I'd have to give a TJ Reeves, a Ray Kennedy, and a Joshua Cole Allen. And in return, I get the 23rd pick in the draft.
Okay.
But if I had to give Harry the Greek, I'd probably move into the top 10.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Of course, you're overvaluing yourself here. Bucks and Bears wish list.
Overvalue.
No overvalue here.
Overvalue.
List at 9 and 26. Andrew, Full Bear, where are you at? The link has been sent out there.
Where are you at, Drew?
You can be the general manager. JCA doing his own thing tonight, but we'll get him on a little bit later. Russ says Spencer Rattler. You know I'm right. The C on the Greek shirt stands for crap. Roger, no possibility. 9, Rome Adunzier is there. Do you think he's there?
Could be.
9?
One of the 3 are going to be there.
Okay, we'll see how
one of the 3 receivers will be there. If they're not, oh boy, they're going to be some really good players.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Ben Cornett, any possibility the Bucs may try to move up for somebody they really like and have in mind tomorrow night? Again, is it Jackson Powers Johnson? A lot of fans want him. There's red flags out there. If you do more research, he could be dropping Mel Kiper, according to him. And take that for what it's worth. Pretty accurate. He's got him as his 48th ranked player because of multiple concussions, severe concussions. Not only that, the Senior Bowl, hamstring issues there already. Hip. I would rather take Frazier, not Joe Frazier. The guy is escaping me right now from West Virginia. You take him at this point in the second round, and that's where usually light goes with drafting not on camera. Micah says, I think we should get Xavier Worthy, the fast wide receiver from Texas there, although you already have Trey Palmer, but I understand that. Happy anniversary. Thank you. And Sitton says, I like that one. Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Let's start this thing, man.
Let's start it up. Let me go ahead and go out to you, Mr. Harry the Greek, the general manager, making the pick for the Chicago Bears. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, I don't get any introduction music.
Oh, hold on.
Are you kidding me? And with the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears are going to trade. No, they're not going to trade. They're taking Caleb Williams, baby. USC.
No.
Anybody really thought I was? It's Caleb Williams, USC. Trust me. The best quarterback in this draft. He is going to transition this team to being a winner again. Peter, I don't know what else to say. I think it's the best player in the draft. I know I've been trying to lead people on saying other things. I am so psyched to finally get a quarterback in the city of Chicago.
Well, and I tell you right now, I think there's a lot of people.
Even though he paints his fingernails.
He paints his fingernails. Scouts have compared him to
lipstick.
Prince. Like
I'm not worried about it.
He's a weird guy.
Please do me a favor.
Yes.
Prince reminds me, because he's from Minnesota, and we always know there's 2 things we hate in this world as Buck and Bear fans: Minnesota Vikings and anything from Minnesota.
Okay.
And who else? The Green Bay Packers. You didn't hear me say that about the Detroit Lions. We just dislike them. We don't hate them.
Well, Detroit's definitely the class of the division at this point, but of course, Minnesota in that conversation.
How'd you like that, Pete? Huh?
I like it. I like the pick. I think that's the right pick at the end of the day.
I had to sweat.
He could be the best quarterback of this draft. I feel like, listen, you trade Justin Fields for a 6th round pick, and then furthermore, the report comes out today. Well, it's conditional.
It'll be a 4th
if he starts, and I don't think
he's got to play 50% of the snaps. It'll be a 4th.
I will bet you on that Russell Wilson.
Whatever you want.
Okay, steak dinner, and they're not going to pick up the 5th-year option. By the way,
forget the steak dinners. The Greek likes cash.
Money. All right. Well, what kind of scratch we talking?
Off. Oh, really? Now you're getting into my lingo. Scratch. I'll talk to you a little bit later about it because you can't afford the juice.
Oh, I can afford the juice. You know why? Because I paid off my freaking camera. Thank you very much. All right, let's go out to Mr. Kevin Sloan here, Mr. KR.
He brother.
Will be the general manager of the Washington Commanders. Welcome to the evolution. Oh, by the way, you got Carolina last year. You picked Young. You were right about that. So can you do it 2 years in a row? What are you thinking here? Welcome to the Sports Web.
Well, hey, guys, and definitely happy anniversary, Peter, and the Sports Web. And it's definitely been awesome to, contribute and definitely come on the show and, give my takes, and I'm just humbled to give my share of my thoughts and how I feel about it, being a sports junkie. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night and all the madness of the draft and seeing what the Bucs may do, especially at 26. But me, as representing for the Washington Commanders, and with the number 2 pick,
Oh,
you can
hold
cue the
on.
little theme music.
Hold on. I'm going to get you out of here on that. I want to know, if you were the general manager of the Bucs at 26, who would you take? What's the biggest need? What type of what player do you want this Bucs team to take tomorrow night? Like, I think it's going to be, 10:45 or 11 o'clock. So we're going to be right here giving you the live, reaction. Who do you want, KR, for the Bucs to take tomorrow night?
It's a coin flip. I'm either looking at Jarrett Verse from Florida State,
wow,
or Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. We
That's
definitely
nice,
need the edge rusher or a protector for Baker, because he can't get hit like that, especially the way he was getting hit last year. So it was definitely something that I thought that was a big need, and we definitely need to beef up the offensive line or get a pass rusher for sure. So
all right,
that's
Peter,
what I'm looking forward to.
All
let's
right,
get
let's
the noise.
Here we go. All right, here. Let me go ahead and get out to you. Go ahead. Let me go ahead and get the intro.
And representing the Washington Commanders with the number 2 pick in NFL draft, we select Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
Very nice. All right. Now, first and foremost, you may and somebody was throw their book on the deck there because they were so happy about that pick. I think it's the right pick. There was talk about J.J. McCarthy possibly going second. Drake May, KR. Why do you make this pick with Mr. Jaden Daniels?
I just feel because he's a Heisman Trophy winner, and he was one of the top-rated quarterbacks in this draft class. And it's just his versatility, and he's able to, be a game changer, maybe like a Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick prototype quarterback. And I think for the Commanders and the franchise themselves, they definitely need that kind of a push. They did have Sam Howell last year. He did have his ups and downs, and they clearly saw that he may not be the future. As you can see, they let him go to another team. And like I said, with Washington, it's a brand new, season, new team, and let's build it the right way with our franchise quarterback. And I feel Jaden will be that guy.
Well, 40 touchdowns at LSU. And, of course, we talked to Brian Kelly at ReliaQuest Bowl, and he said he's not only going to command the room, he's going to command the building. That stuck out for me, and I think you could definitely make the case if the Bears, any other given year, if it wasn't Caleb Williams, you turn on the tape for Jaden. He's tremendously talented and could definitely do it all. Can run.
Great points.
I mean, what's the comparison for you when you see him, Harry, on the screen?
What, with Jaden Daniels?
Yeah,
But Jaden Daniels is he's 2.0 from Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson. He's Lamar Jackson 2.0. That's just my opinion, and I think he throws a nicer ball. He doesn't have the arm that Lamar does, but he's a lot more accurate. But I would love to get pick number 3 out because I have a shocker here.
Well, I tell you what, go ahead and talk with KR really quick. I'm going to let you go because I got to grab something really quick here. Really
it's
quick.
Not time to eat.
It's not. Well, I got to snack on a hot dog with no ketchup here really quick. So go ahead.
Not a problem. Go ahead and go out. You let me know when you want to come back in.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be back in just a little bit. Harry, run the show here on the Sports Web. Stand by, guys.
Not a problem. I'll pull you up, Peter.
Okay. There you go.
KR, how does that look, buddy? It's just you and I. Did you ever think this was going to happen?
No, and I'm humbled and very, very appreciative, and definitely thank you guys, especially for letting me come on and do the pick for the mock draft. It's always a fun time to kind of talk sports and just talk and just give our thoughts and listen to what everybody's thinking. And we don't know what these draft rooms are going to be like tomorrow night, but you can definitely see all the craziness and just think about what's going to happen for our future, these future players and, these teams are what's going to happen moving forward. So it's always good to, break bread and, talk sports and just have that good, casual conversation. So it's definitely a humbling experience. So,
without question, I do appreciate it. And before I get too much to start talking about football, I just realized that you're a former United States Marine Corps veteran and a 2-time cancer survivor. Hey, first off, thanks for your service. I come from a military family. How long were you in? Where'd you serve?
I did 4 years. I did 2 tours in Iraq. So
I'm
very humbled.
If I don't mind, if you don't mind me asking, what years?
Nah, I don't mind. I went from 2001 to 2005. I did two
Ooh.
tours. I did two
Ooh.
tours back to back in 03 and 04.
Oh, that had to be
So
rough. That had
it
to be
was.
rough, especially those
Yeah.
3 years. And you're a 2-time cancer survivor. You care to share that with us?
Yeah, I've had my own personal journey. I've had testicular cancer twice,
Oh,
and
wow.
I briefly just battled with it last year. My last battle with it, and I had surgery. I got very early, prevention, early detection. Had my staff and the doctors, and they went and just told me the game plan, and we kind of just went through it. And I had my surgery in May. I recovered, and then I ended up doing some chemotherapy as a preventative in October, and I only
Right.
did a couple rounds. But after that, now I'm just doing straight follow-up testing and things of that nature.
Oh, that's
And I would
cool.
definitely give a PSA for men. If you're between the ages of 35 to 50, definitely check your guys, because it is
Absolutely.
definitely one of those cancers that will sneak up on you. And if you don't, catch it, it
It's a
could definitely impact.
preventative cancer. And you know what?
Hmm.
The reason why I wanted to touch on this, and we just kind of got off a little bit of subject here, is because I noticed that everybody can see
Yeah.
the word KR, but when I see United States Marine Corps, I've got to pay homage. And then a 2-time cancer survivor, I have to talk about it, and I'm glad I had that chance. I'm going to bring
You're
Peter in
welcome.
just a minute, because I can see he's just kind of getting ready there, but we're going to leave him in the back room for a second. He's kind of in purgatory. Okay, the Greek doesn't get the sports web very often. This past year with Baker Mayfield, there was about a 4 or 5 game stretch, KR. You
Mhm.
witnessed it. I witnessed it. Everybody was like all freaking out. Oh my God, they're done. He stinks. And you were one of the people that actually heard people say he's not worth $8 or $10 million. And I said, hey, hold up. God forbid, 8 or 10 million. If this team wins the division, and God help them if they won a playoff game, he'd be at least worth 35 to $40 million. And everybody said, Greek, you were crazy. Were you one of those people that thought he was worth that kind of money, or were you one of those people that said, hey, the $8 or $10 million because he never really had back-to-back years? I'd love to hear your opinion on it after the fact.
Just thinking about it, I took a risk when I first saw that we signed him, and I saw the money, and it was like only like what $4 million for just a season. And I said, what could be the potential of Baker Mayfield in this offense? I said, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that he had the talent. He was definitely a Heisman Trophy winner in Oklahoma, and he just, he had his shares of, different coaches, coordinators, and it felt like he was becoming that journeyman quarterback. And I'm like, let's see if he can have some stability, maybe with, a good offensive coach and someone that, be in his corner, and he have the weapons around him. And as you can see this year, he definitely excelled, so much. And now he got his payday, which I'm excited for him. And I'm happy that he's finally found hopefully a home here in the Tampa Bay area. And I think that the sky's the limit for him, as long as he continues to do what he's been doing, and, he's buying into the system, and he's also, contributing to, the team and how
Right.
he wants to see this organization goes. The sky's the limit. I just hope that he can just stay healthy, upright, and just command the team
That's
and do
why
what he's been doing.
That's why I brought that question up to you, KR, because you just took the bait completely. And the bait was really simple. They need to draft an offensive lineman, because there was a 4-game stretch that this poor
Hmm.
guy could not stay upright, and everybody was ready to throw the towel in on this team. And what makes a
Correct.
good quarterback 99% of the times? It's a solid offensive line. KR, I appreciate it, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and
You're
bring
welcome.
Peter back in. It was really nice talking to you. I wanted to honor you, especially being United States Marine Corps veteran.
Thank you.
And you know what? God's with you, brother, with 2-time cancer survivor. And I'm going to go ahead and add back to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, and the host of the Sports Web, Mr. Peter Blake. Let me go ahead and get this straightened out. And
Boom.
voila.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And by the way, I was 2 weeks away from being a Marine myself. Couldn't qualify with the M16. So, hoorah, Devil Dog.
Thank you.
Yes, 20 weeks in Parris Island, South Carolina. But definitely appreciate your service, KR. You're awesome. You've been awesome the last couple of years. Let's meet up. Let's get you lunch here. Some wings.
Definitely.
let's
Yes. Let's do.
You know what I say? What we do,
Portfolio.
Peter? We
What's up?
continue with
Yes.
this NFL draft.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
What do you say? You want to ring the bell again? I'm going to give that third pick.
You're going to give the third pick? All right, here we go.
And with the third pick of the 2024 NFL Draft, your New England Patriots are drafting Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State.
Whoa! Surprise of the night. I am
What?
shocked by that.
What?
Why Marvin Harrison Jr.? Because I'm looking at
Whoa, time out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I never heard anybody give boos for the draft. Oh my God, you're starting to sound like I'm not Roger Goodell. There you go. Why Marvin Harrison Jr.? I'll tell you why.
Well, hold your thought because somebody's calling in. So we're going to take some phone calls. We're going to try to make this work. But Marvin Harrison Jr. to the New England Patriots over a quarterback. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Evolution with yours truly, along with Harry the Greek and KR.
Hey, it's Frankie. How's it going, man?
Well, what's going on, man? Do you want one of these picks here coming up? Do you want Arizona at 4? Do you want the Chargers at 5? Or you just want to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what you think they're going to do tomorrow night?
Oh, I'll definitely take a pick.
All right. Who do you want?
Let's see. I'll take the Chargers at 5.
All right, Chargers at 5. So sit back here. You have something to say, and then we'll I want to go out to Harry here because Harry just selected for the Patriots Marvin Harrison Jr. Harry, explain yourself because there's no quarterback there with the Patriots. So why are you passing on Drake May for Harrison Jr.?
Because one of the top 5 quarterbacks are going to fall out of the first round, or the Patriots may move up. They still have Jacoby Brissett. And the Patriots are going to do it the right way again, even without Belichick. Why not get the best player in the entire draft in Marvin Harrison Jr.? He's got all the hoopla. They need that wide receiver. And Jacoby Brissett will have someone to throw to at this point in time. I understand everybody wants him to take a quarterback at this room. That's the Greeks' upset special. They will grab a quarterback, but it's not going to be there. There are so many great players in this draft. New England's a smart organization. Robert Kraft's one of the best owners in the entire National Football League. They know what they're doing up there.
Well, and they definitely do, and there's some change of focus because Belichick is not there anymore. So
I just what I said. It's just, even without Belichick, they know what they're doing. They got a great head coach in there. I love the pick who they have. They have Jacoby Brissett. Nobody. And I mean nobody. And this is why the draft is going to stand on its head because of that pick.
Yeah. All right. So, KR, your thoughts on the pick of Marvin Harrison Jr. You like that selection?
Very shocked, but you know what? I think the Greek actually makes a lot of sense because they definitely need a weapon, and it'll be a kind of like a full circle moment having the son of one of their most hated rivals drafted to the Patriots, and that's very, very interesting. But he's right; they do have Jacoby Brissett, and I think another backup quarterback, and they do need a weapon definitely. So that's a really, really surprising, but I can't disagree with the pick. It's very surprising. I know quarterback is very tempting for them. There's some other quarterbacks in this draft they can also draft in the second or third round, like a Jordan Travis or a Spencer Rattler. So, even Bo Nix, if he doesn't get drafted in the first round. So there's options for them. That's not a bad play. I have to give it to the Greek. I respect it.
Give it to the Greek. That's what we always do here on the Evolution. And I will say this. If you don't think Drake May is the guy, if you don't think J.J. McCarthy, which I think would be interesting, guys, and I'll come out to you, Frankie, the correlation there. Maybe I'm making too much of this, but you got a guy who was the greatest of all time in Tom Brady from Michigan. You got a guy on the board in J.J. McCarthy who just came off a national championship. I mean, what would you think about that, Frankie? The Patriots taking J.J. McCarthy or Drake May? Or do you like the selection of Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I think it's gutsy.
Okay.
But
it's what?
What Greek
gutsy.
said,
Gutsy. He says gutsy.
I think it's gutsy because you need a quarterback. I mean, you got rid of Mac. You got rid of the Mac.
They didn't get rid of much.
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. But you got rid of the Mac.
Yes.
And so now you got nobody there. Billy Zapp ain't going to get you nowhere. And Zach Wilson, well, he's gone in Denver. So where are you going to go?
Well, you're going to go with possibly
quarterback.
Yeah,
You're going with Jacoby Brissett, and you'll pick up a quarterback later.
Are you going to get the number one wide receiver in the draft
Number one
when
player.
you ain't got nobody to throw it to?
Because
let me tell you why.
Okay.
Tampa Bay did it with Mike Evans, and it seemed to work out pretty well with us, didn't it?
Well, you're absolutely correct about that. That is a great point, and that's where the Greek is going with that, and that's what some teams will do.
That's exactly
Very
why
nice.
I went with that
I'm
pick.
just saying, hey, Tampa Bay did it with Evans.
They did, and they got
10
Jameis
years
Winston. And
in a row.
yes.
10 years in a row. We're going to make it 11.
Right. Well, if you can get that kind of production out of Harrison Jr., you definitely got yourself a Hall of Fame player. All right, KR, do you want another pick here, or do you want me to make the pick here for the Arizona? You know what, KR? Make the pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr. is off the board. So what do you do here? Do you take the next
Now it
best
gets
wide
tricky.
receiver?
Who do you take? Who
Let
do
me
you
go ahead
take, KR?
with the intro. All right, Mr. KR.
Okay. I had to think about it for a moment because, let me look at this draft pool. So with the fourth pick in NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select offensive lineman Joe Alt, Notre Dame.
Go.
Wow, I like that one.
You see how the Greek threw the little wrench in there? I'll tell you what, KR, we appreciate the 2 picks that you gave, buddy. But
You're very welcome.
But you know who's sitting in the back room? You're going to love this guy when we bring him in, KR.
Well, I tell you what, we'll bring him in right now. Let's go.
No, I didn't properly give him an introduction. This is the big board. North of the border himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Andrew Boobs Bobear.
How we doing, gentlemen? Happy
bad,
draft eve.
How's the life in the basement?
This new basement's nice. It's freezing in this one, though. Oh my god.
All right, let's go ahead and because we got Frankie on the phone. He's about to make his pick for the Chargers, and then we'll let you go, Frankie. You can call back if you want to make another pick or talk about the Bucks. But let me go out. Let's recap here what's happened. Harry took Caleb Williams, of course, in number 1.
Shocker.
KR took Jaden Daniels in number 2. Harry with the surprise of the night here. Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 3, surpassing or passing up on a Drake May or J.J. McCarthy. And then KR takes Joe Alt. Your thoughts on the first 4 picks of this mock draft here on the Evolution?
Oh, sorry, that was directed at me. My apologies. I thought you were still talking to the guy on the phone.
Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff,
Sorry,
pass.
I was just getting everything set up in the back here for myself too. I mean, listen, Marvin Harrison Jr. going 3. Is that what we were saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
New England Patriots. Yeah.
That's tough, ain't it?
That's tough. But I mean,
did you hear the reasoning?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
good.
And that makes sense. I mean, they need pieces. You need pieces in New England. There's a new culture that's trying to be established there. And I do not hate it. I really don't.
But it definitely throws a wrench in everybody's mock drafts.
Oh,
Woo,
yeah.
baby.
Very much so.
Yes.
Now it gets interesting.
So so we got Jaden Daniels 2, Marvin Harrison 3, Arizona Cardinals go Joe Alt. Okay. Los Angeles Chargers
are up next here on the board. Frankie, you're on the phone. Are you ready to go?
Yeah. You really, KR, you threw a wrench in my plan because I had to go with my backup because you took Joe Alt.
Well, you can't take him now. You better.
I was going to go with Joe Alt to keep Justin Herbert up standing up straight, but now I got to go with a sure threat.
All right, hold on. Let me give you the chimes. All right, Frankie, you're up.
We're going with Neighbors.
Wow, Malik Neighbors. I like that pick a lot. I do. All right, Frankie, tell me why you went with Neighbors there. Besides, he's the best wide receiver on the board at that point. And then with the Chargers, not only do you lose Keenan Allen because you trade him to the Chicago Bears, but also Mike Williams to the Jets. So it's almost a need at this point. Why not an offensive lineman? Why Neighbors?
Well, I was going to go offensive lineman, but Joe Alt's off the board. So got to go with the next need.
All right. Good stuff, Frankie. Appreciate it. Anything else here on the Evolution?
I want to say thank you for your service, KR. I really appreciate it. And congratulations for being a two-time survivor. Today is the anniversary, 4 years since I lost my dad today for cancer. So,
well, we definitely had that touched upon this show because
sorry for your loss, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, but I lost my dad to cancer too. So we're definitely brothers in arms on this. And Frankie, hang in there, my friend. Head up, and if this show takes your mind off of that, then we did our job.
Dude, I'm gonna be watching all night, man.
All right,
I got you on the big screen on YouTube. So
love it, man. Beautiful,
Awesome.
Frankie. Thanks a lot for the call. Now, feel free to use that second call if you want to. All right, my friend.
all right, man.
All right, good stuff there. So Frankie makes that pick at number 5. He takes Neighbors. First, let's go out to Harry. What did you think of that pick? Because what you hear is, he's got Tyreek Hill speed there, and then also he's got Deebo Samuel strength. Malik Neighbors out of LSU. What do you know?
Hey, look, I really love the pick. Malik Neighbors has probably got the highest ceiling of all the wide receivers in this draft. From what I understand, he actually has the best route running ability in this draft. Okay. Not quite the receiver that I think Roma Dunze is going to be, but I think his route running ability is just absolutely off the charts. Because I had 1, 2, honestly, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Roma Dunze. Malik Neighbors, I had at number 3, to believe it or not.
All right, let me go out to the
With
big
the highest
board.
ceiling. He has definitely has the highest ceiling in the draft.
Let's go out to the big board. What do you think of Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Make those comparisons, and how good of a pick is this for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers?
Marvin Harrison Jr. is just a really good all-around Jerry Rice type player where there's not too many holes in his game, and that's probably how he will succeed. But I'm going to tell you what, if Neighbors were to actually get a quarterback like Justin Herbert right off the bat, you want to talk about success in the league basically right off the week 1, week 2, week 3. This guy is going to be the safety blanket for essentially a big arm in the NFL, which is what Harbaugh is essentially going to use. He's going to utilize the running backs in there as well, but having Neighbors there, that's just essentially going to make it just now you're going to have to basically cover in the back just a little bit further. So
Of course. That's a great comment.
Yeah, it's definitely a great comment as I'm trying to produce as we're on air because the pick is coming up for the Giants and we're somebody and they're not coming out. Hold on a sec here. Let me see if I can send him the link. I think this is him. Well, somebody that wanted this pick, his name is Jake Smith. So we'll see if we can get him.
2 minutes.
Yeah, well, you got 2 minutes to come on. Let me go out to KR here. Malik Neighbors to the Chargers. I mean, how happy do you think Justin Herbert would be with that pick?
I think Justin would definitely like the pick. He definitely needs weapons because he's got to replace the 2 guys that he had that he was there with at his time he's been as the quarterback for the Chargers. So definitely, Neighbors has that, speed and ability that can be a game changer. And I think with the way Jim Harbaugh, utilizes the running game to build the passing game, that's also going to help them as well, too, because he's a great run blocker in the running game. So that's definitely a weapon of all trades right there.
All right. I don't see our general manager, so I will make the selection for the New York Giants. Let me go ahead and get an intro here. Yes. The New York Giants at number 6 select Drake May from North Carolina. The reason why you do that is 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 38 the previous year here. Daniel Jones coming into a contract situation. You're not sure if you're going to keep him or not. I get it. You need another wide receiver there, but I think quarterback, if May's on the board at that juncture, I feel like you'd be crazy and, not to take him. I get it. Daniel Jones from Duke, Drake May from North Carolina. I'm going to
just got their next Manning.
No, you hope they did.
No, they did. They just got their next Manning. He's got a great arm. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of upside. In the beginning, Peter, you remember in the beginning part of the year, I was like, man, this kid Drake May is going to the Bears. Oh my God, I'm going to love this guy.
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of learning to do, but they can't bring him in because of Mitchell Trubisky. I could see Andrew Faubert shaking his head up and down, agreeing with me on that one. that city would be in an uproar. But he can be a hell of a quarterback for the New York Giants.
Drake May, big board. What do you say?
If Drake May were to be, for some odd reason, falling to the Giants at 6, all ownership, Brian Daboll, everybody would be so thankful that they just saved themselves another year at least of their job, because now it doesn't matter if you sucked at the end of this year, you wouldn't necessarily get fired because you have someone that can work into being essentially the next Justin Herbert. If you look at his arm, if you look at the raw ability that was comparable to Justin Herbert when he was coming out of college, it's just he's got the quarterback face. That's the other thing that New York is also looking at is they're the big market. They know they can fill their seats, but it's the extra stuff. And they know that he's one of the pretty boys out there. And he's also got the big arm, and he's comparable to Josh and all the other big arm guys. So if you were to fall to them at 6, they're basically laughing and they're rushing to the podium, and they're getting Roger Goodell to call them the next day, getting mad because they made their pick way too early. So
let me ask you, big board, and then we'll get out to KR. And KR, if you want to stay on, if you want to get out of here, you can. We can go ahead and get you off of the sports web. But big board, what would you say to fans that say Drake May regress? 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions this year. The year before, 38 and 7 interceptions. So was he throwing the ball less? Was the wide receivers? I mean, what was the deal? What would you say to the fans that are, kind of a little bit negative about Drake May at this point? What? Because Drake May started out as like number 1 quarterback, and now he's like the 3rd quarterback off the board. What would you say to the pundits out there that talk about May?
No, I wanted May technically to the Bucs before we started, winning games and Baker Mayfield started going off. So he's a project. He's someone that you can throw in just like they did with Josh Allen. If you have the right head coach, if you have the right coordinator, you can do that. Let everybody develop. That'll work. But if he goes to a place where, he's got to be the it guy right off the bat, and you're not going to allow him to screw up, that's where he's going to regress, just like a Sam Darnold. Yeah. He did good enough, but he didn't have targets like, Caleb showed obviously why he's going to be the number 1, and he had a couple of, small targeted guys that are going to probably go in the 4th and 5th round. Whereas, Drake had Walker, which is projected to go to Carolina at 33. And he's also a decent wide receiver, but it's also, that's the only thing he had. So if there was another 5-star that came there, if there was a better offensive line and he played in a different conference than he did play, and took that offer to go to a bigger school, it'd probably be 1-2, and there wouldn't be, any debate about it. But because he's a developmental quarterback, that's what's probably throwing some of these guys off, is they want someone who's going to come in, play them, and have success right off the bat. Whereas Drake May might take you 2 or 3 seasons.
Good explanation there by the big board, Andrew Fulbear of North Sports Dynasty. KR, go ahead and give me your thoughts on Drake May to the Giants.
Yeah, I got to agree with the big board on that one. Yeah, when I saw Drake May, and he was definitely projected to be a number 1, first round top 3 talent, and he definitely did regress this year. I saw some of the games, and I could just tell that, the lack of weapons on that North Carolina squad, it was just, he just couldn't, he was fighting a battle that he couldn't win. And you could definitely tell by the way the schedule was for that school and the way that the team played, and they underperformed so much. And I could just tell, he was just overwhelmed because of everything. But, him going to the Giants is definitely interesting because now, like you said, they got Daniel Jones there, and they paid him a lot of money to be their starting franchise quarterback. And now they're going to kind of be like, buyer's regret. Are we going to be like, well, we paid him all this money and he's not, performing to what we see, and he's always getting injured. And that's where I think this is where, in Drake May case, he may have to fill in for a spot or 2 unless they do have a backup. I think you guys they have Mitchell Trubisky. If he's the backup there, can kind of, start for them. But like I said, yeah, Drake May's going to be a project. And I think, with the coaching staff of the Giants, he may fit. He may just fit there, as a long-term starter down the road. But, solid pick. But I just feel that with them having Daniel Jones, it definitely plays a factor into that franchise.
Yeah, it does. And look, they were drafting Jones 5th overall or 6th overall. And, it just has not worked out, even though you signed him to a big deal. We got Frankie on the line. He's getting ready to select for the Atlanta Falcons. But the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. So, Andrew Fullbear, you want to pick for the Titans? What are you thinking here? Let me go ahead and give you the intro.
With the 7th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans select offensive tackle out of Penn State, Olamunyiwa Fashanu.
Very good. Okay, I like that pick a lot. I'll give you the horn on that. One sack over the last 2 years? I mean, and you have to do that, and that's what you're kind of thinking, right? With Will Levis and the era taking off there, what do? You help your quarterback out. You get him an offensive lineman. Is that your thought process on this?
Yeah, so everyone has Joe Alt obviously projected to go here, and I think the backup plan for the Titans is another one of those offensive tackles that are big projected, like Fashanu here. Fashanu, though, has the ability to play guard, and he also can convert over to right tackle if you don't feel comfortable in his first and second season as being your, anchor to your quarterback. And I think there is a possibility that the Titans could also move Skronsky, who they drafted last year, to a tackle spot as well, just to give, if they had Fashanu.
He can play tackle, by the way.
Yes, he could play, right tackle. Skronsky can go to left. There is a few different things that they could do with this. If they grab Joe just basically goes to left tackle, call it a day. The whole left side of their line is completely done. If they are to grab Fashanu here, it becomes a camp battle. Like, where do we put him? Where does he fit the system? And where can we develop him the fastest and allow, great protection for Will Levis? So I think it's still offensive line that's going to be picked here for the Tennessee Titans. And I don't necessarily see an offer being good enough for them to move out of this position.
Harry, 6'6", 319. Again, 1 sack in 2 years for Penn State. Now he's going to protect the blind side of Levis. This is the way you build your team at the end of the day. It's through the interior line, and it starts, of course, with the offensive line at your left tackle spot, right?
Peter, I talked about this in depth last year. I was really an advocate for Will Levis. I think this guy's got an absolute cannon of an arm. I think he's an unpolished Jay Cutler, if I can give a comparison.
Wow.
And he needs a little bit of protection. There was that one game last year when you said, man, I think you're right. He threw for 5 touchdown passes in that game, and he was constantly in fear for his life. Let me tell you something. Tennessee got this pick right, and so did the big board.
Yeah, I agree with you. And KR, what do you think? Fashanu to the Tennessee Titans, the big offensive lineman out of Penn State. I mean, you can't go wrong with the left tackle, right?
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Look at our current tackle for the Buccaneers, Tristan Wirfs. He just saw that one of his fellow campmates, Penny Sewell of the Lions, just got paid big money as a left tackle. So now look at this. It definitely is going to help the Titans down the road, especially with Will Levis, being that kind of scrambling quarterback that can sit in the pocket and can definitely make scramble if he needs to. They definitely need the offensive line help. So this is definitely a solid pick for the Titans.
And that was a big story of the day. Penei Sewell, who's also a top 10 pick for the Lions, who's worked out and was the right pick for them, because any quarterback you put behind, you put Jared Goff or, Hendon Hooker, who could be the future of that team, $28 million a year. Why is that relevant to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because eventually that's the kind of money you're going to have to pay Tristan Wirfs, and he absolutely deserves it. All right, let's go out to Mr. Frankie making his second appearance, and this will be his last call for the night. You are picking for the Atlanta Falcons, my friend. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
And Buccaneer fans are going to hate this pick.
All
but
right.
You know what? In fantasy world, you're going to love it.
All right, here we go.
So with the 8th pick, the Atlanta Falcons are going to select wide receiver from Washington, Rome Odunze.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, I understand the selection. Then again, I don't, because you have needs at the defensive,
offensive lineman, defensive lineman,
defensive line. But this seems like a typical Atlanta Falcon pick. Frankie, why did you make this selection?
Well, okay. See, the prediction is Latu. And like when I called you last week, I have massive red flag concerns for Latu. I'm just like, I have like my own concerns for Latu. I just don't know if I want to jump on this guy.
Okay.
The offensive lineman guy that I'm all on the board that I think can just jump in and be the guy that can start right away is Joe Alt. I think he's like the next Tony Baselli, the guy that can come in and just protect your blind side right off the bat and just no worries. He's pro ready right off the bat.
Stand by, Frankie. Roger, hold on a minute. We'll get out to your pick in a moment. Let me finish up with Frankie, and then we'll get back to you. Frankie, go ahead and finish up your thought, and we got to run.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, finish up your thought.
Okay, yeah. So like that's basically like I think Joe Alt is the guy that I would take, but fantasy wise, just because this is fantasy, you got to look at it. You got London, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Pitts, and then you just got Kirk Cousins. Why not put Ndunzi in there and just make it a fantasy offense to just make everybody go, and Buccaneer fans go, do I really want to go up against that offense?
Well, you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts here, Harry. I mean, again, I feel like this could be a typical pick for the Falcons, although I think it would be crazy, especially if Jared Verse or Dallas Turner are on the board. We talked about offensive linemen. You can get, a pretty good offensive lineman. So what do you think of Frankie's pick? Frankie, thanks a lot for the time here. We appreciate you, boss, all right?
No problem, man. No problem. It's fun as always.
It is, man. All right, we'll get out to Roger in a moment, the tribal troll. Harry, what do you think about that pick?
First off, they need defensive lineman help. And to be honest with you, that makes the next pick even that much easier for the Chicago Bears, especially if Roma Dunze is gone. I know the tribal troll wants to make the 9th pick, but we're both going to give 2 different picks. I'm allowing it.
All right, I'll allow that. Full Bear, did you get your thoughts on this pick here? What are your thoughts? Drake London, Adunzie.
Nope.
They also, you get Mooney in the offseason. Seems like a plethora of wide receivers.
They needed a lineman.
Yes. Yes.
They needed an offensive lineman to protect the guy that's 140 years old, okay, and Kirk Cousins, and he tore his Achilles. I mean, give me a break. I love the enthusiasm. I love the playmaker in Roma Dunze, but not to Atlanta. Big board. I didn't mean to steal your thought.
No, you're good. You're good because listen, if for some odd reason that card gets turned over tomorrow and it does say like Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze, if for some odd reason they're still on the board, because I need to then see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade up for like a Terrion Arnold or a Quincy Mitchell or something like that, because that is not fun. That would not be something I would want to be watching for the next 5 years. He is good.
Can we please get to the next pick?
Well,
begging.
I'm going to go out to KR, and then we're going to wrap up with KR. Thanks a lot for your time for the night, making some great picks. But KR, your thought process on Atlanta Falcons going a wide receiver over.
You're funny, Chucky.
Offensive line.
You're very, very welcome. And quick thought, wow, that was just a shock of a pick. But I'm like, I get it. I guess Atlanta wants to show they need to have weaponry. And buyer beware. They really do need offensive line help and defensive line help, because I just don't trust a quarterback that's 36 going on 37 years old, coming off an Achilles tear, to about to get his head taken off again, especially with the way that these teams, scout these quarterbacks. And I can just tell you he's a statue of a quarterback. He doesn't scramble enough, and he needs protection. Yeah, he needs protection. He needs it. I was very surprised. Wow,
the question is he going to be horizontal or lateral? Game time. Let's get to this next pick, damn it. Let's go.
Thanks a lot for your time, my friend. Keep on tuning in to the Evolution, all right?
Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great evening, and I'll be tuning in. I may have a call for another pick if you guys let me allow it.
Absolutely. It is allowed.
Whenever you want,
allow
KR.
that? We allow that. There we go. All right. So we'll get you out of here on that. We'll stick with the big board here. You need an intro, Roger? You ready to go?
Bring it.
All right.
Acknowledge me.
All right. Yes, with the number 9 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears pick Joe Alt.
He's already been off the board. That's why I said. Now that's why I said we were making another pick here.
Okay.
You would get passed, by the way. Yeah, look at the board here.
Let me correct.
Let me recap the board here. Caleb Williams to Chicago. We should pass you up on that, my friend. We should pass you. Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels. New England Patriots, Harry takes Marvin Harrison Jr., the shocker of the night. Arizona Cardinals, crazy. Joe Alt. Chargers, Malik Neighbors. Giants take Drake May. Titans go with Fashiono, if I'm pronouncing his name right. And the Atlanta Falcons take Adunzie. So who do you take in at 9? Try again.
I don't know, but all of my picks have been taken already.
Let me go ahead and go out
I'll give it to Harry.
The general manager, because Roger's the That's the reason why he's Harry, who do you have here at number 9 for the Chicago Bears?
Now, this is where it's going to get a little confusing, guys. Because Atlanta made the surprise pick, the Chicago Bears are going to trade back in this draft to pick up some picks. And I'm going to tell you why.
Uh-huh.
They are going to trade back as far as number 13 with the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders they are going to select McCarthy from Michigan. And the Bears and the Chicago Bears will have 2 picks because it's fallen right into their lap. They're either going to get the big offensive tackle out of Washington, Troy Fautanu, or they're going to go with Jared Verse. And I am going to let, you know who? I'm going to let the big board pick it. Out of those 2, who do the Bears take if they drop to 13?
It's 12, isn't it? It's 12, guys.
No, 13. It's pick 13 instead of Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders are 12.
13.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Minnesota 11, Denver 12.
You're correct. Yes, you're all right. Okay.
So they're going to drop to 13. They're picking up a couple of extra picks.
Yeah.
All the good players are still left on the board. Andrew, do you like that move?
Oh, yeah. If you have the option, if you're Chicago, if you can make that trade happen and you're only going 4 spots away from that position, you now have the option between 2 of the tackles that could also be interior linemen if you would like them to.
Mm-hmm.
You could, if you randomly wanted to, because there is the whole center need that Chicago has spoken about too. You could then just, say screw it, and Jackson Powers, Johnson is all of a sudden yours at 13.
I gave you the 2 players. Who are you taking?
But if you're giving me those 2 players,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
taking Jared Verse all day.
There you go. So the Greek selects
there.
Jared Verse.
Yeah.
The Greek selecting Jared Verse at that portion. Sorry to give everybody a trade.
Hold on, you can't select it until it comes up because
I already selected it.
I may select Jared Verse at this point. Let's
the Greek spoken.
Well, you shut up and be quiet.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
All right, so let's go out to Mr. Roger Shue, the Tribal Troll. What do you think of that pick? Trading down there to 13 to the Raiders. Yes.
I agree with the Greek.
Okay.
Of course.
100.
You're a Greek guy. Of course.
Well, yes, I am, and I will be for life.
Well, there you go. Okay, great. Awesome.
But my first pick was being a Malacca. I'm sorry, Harry.
That's okay, buddy. You're forgiven. At least, listen.
At least I don't.
At least I know Roger Shue eats his beefs baptized with Jardinere, and he definitely does not have hot dogs with ketchup on it.
Oh,
no,
God.
Harry, okay, let me correct. Jardinere on the side. I get it.
Look, the Jardinere on the side, but you do baptize your beef, right?
Yeah, baptized with green pepper.
All right,
Andrew has no idea what the hell we're talking about.
No.
But if you ever meet us in Chicago, trust me, I'll get you there. I do want to give a shout out to one of the web heads that are out there, Mr. Chuck Anderson. Chuck, what's up, my brother? If you want to make a pick, I'll be more than happy to send you the link, and we're going to let you Chuck Anderson, the man, the myth, the legend, who does know sports, and he's actually a half-ass mechanic, and I love him. I'd love to have him on.
Absolutely. Get on
And
there.
Peter,
the link, yes, is there in the
I'm
phone
gonna-
number. Yes.
I'm going to say this live on the air Friday
Okay.
at work. I am getting you a Portillo's Italian beef for lunch. Your first time, and I'm taking pictures for Harry.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Hey, he's got to have it with Jardiniere. Oh, it's too hot.
What's starting there? What is that, by the way?
It's good.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right. All right.
It's good.
All right. Real quick, Full Bear, while you're
Bye,
on
you
the
guys.
All right.
I'll
Thanks
be
a lot.
watching.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you, Frankie. Appreciate you, Roger. Open phone lines if you want to make a pick here coming up, because we got a trade already. Chicago trading down with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have taken J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. Full Bear, what do you think of that pick there? And what do you think about ketchup on a hot dog?
Is that an American thing? Are we not supposed to have ketchup on a hot dog?
Even the Canadians don't have ketchup on hot dogs.
Whoa! Yes, tell them about it, Full Bear.
I do. It's
Andrew.
the relish that I
Andrew.
don't understand.
Andrew.
People are like,
Andrew.
relish is a condiment. I'm like, no.
Oh, it's a condom.
I don't understand what that is. But no, I listen. If I'm having a hot dog, I'm putting ketchup and mustard on it. That's just me.
Yes,
Oh, my
that's
God.
what I'm talking about. Spicy mustard, if you like. Thank you very much, Full Bear. That's why we got you on the show here. Draft guru of the big board, we call him, of course, Harry the Greek. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Let's
Lord
go
forgive
out.
him. He's Canadian.
Well, let's go out to Alex. I think he wants to make a selection or wants to talk.
I mean, even Misador doesn't use ketchup on his hot
Well,
dogs.
Misador, you can come on if you want to. The link is out there. Let's go out to Alex. Welcome to the Evolution. What do you have to say? Do you want one of these picks, or do you want to talk? Yes.
I actually don't have much time because I'm actually doing a lot of stuff right now, but I wanted to say that I had a hot dog tonight with grilled onions and ketchup.
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
That's why you're Peter's friend.
Love you, Alex. All right, really quick, man. What do you think about the Bucks? What are they going to do at 26? Make a prediction. And he's gone. That's it. That's all you want to say.
He didn't have much time.
No, he didn't. He didn't have much time at all.
Literally.
So I love that. And he usually stays on a lot longer than that. So there you go. You got the mock draft here. Let's go ahead and do a recap really quick. We'll reset. Yes.
Just to be clear, I have thrown so many wrenches into this draft.
Oh, yeah. You have. You got Caleb Williams, of course, at number 1 by Harry. KR takes Jaden Daniels. I like that pick. I took you took Marvin Harrison Jr. with the Patriots. Frankie took Joel Alt. Or excuse me, who took Joel Alt? I think that was KR also. And the Chargers by Frankie, he took Malik Neighbors. I took Drake May for the Giants. The Titans, who did the Titans take? Who did you take, Full Bear? You've got Fashanu from Penn State. You've got Atlanta with the surprise of the night also, besides Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze out of Washington. And the Chicago Bears on this other one right here. Thank you very much.
Trade back, baby.
Trade back. We'll see
Lean
if Jared.
back.
We'll see if Jared
Lean
Verse
back.
is on the board. If you
How
guys,
can he not be? The next 3 teams, they literally don't have to move. They're getting their quarterbacks that they want, and the Bears are sitting pretty with the best players still left in the draft that they could just take their choice from. And
All
even Andrew even knows it.
I got to read these comments really quick. A Bears fan confused, shocking.
Oh, kiss my butt,
The
me.
Greek has spoken. Misador beef has got to be baptized. Alex
Baptized? There you go.
says, I can't talk.
Baptized. Hey?
On
Baptized.
the 8-year anniversary.
Baptized.
Baptized.
I'm killing it tonight. Laugh out loud, says Chuck. Misador says pepper relish. Chuck, let's all meet up at Portillo's, right?
No, it's actually Portillo's, not Portello's, but that's okay, Chuck. We
Did I
understand.
say
You're from
that?
Tennessee. No. The way Chuck spelled it, you can tell he's from Tennessee.
Tennessee redneck here. Ketchup and relish only. There you
Oh,
go.
God.
So
Here.
ketchup
Lord
again.
have mercy.
Ketchup again.
Chuck, when I see you at the shop tomorrow, it's 20 push-ups and 30 Hail Marys.
Ganged up on me about this hot dog thing with no ketchup, and all my ketchup people are coming out tonight.
Well,
And
let
they're-
me see.
have it.
You're from Florida. He's from Canada. Chuck's from a redneck from Tennessee.
worse?
Okay.
Baptized or Canada?
Well, he knows what I'm talking about. The
I
Canadians.
hear Canada on almost every American show. Like, does Pat
Canadian,
McAfee know
eh?
how to say Canada?
Hey?
No, that's just like the word. And you know what? You know who's going to appreciate this the most? This is how we get this off the rails. Me Sador. Is it or is it not like nails on a chalkboard when people try to say Illinois and they enunciate the S at the end? Illinois. Oh,
It's Illinois.
People,
It's
do
I know,
that?
kidding. But people go Illinois, and it's like nails on
gross.
a chalkboard.
What? How do you say?
Misador, again, that's just like the ketchup thing, guys.
Is it
Misador
Wisconsin?
knows.
Wisconsin, right? I don't know. Wisconsin.
It's
Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, W-I-S. The
Okay.
S isn't silent. It's not Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin. But
Wisconsin.
people like to pronounce Illinois with an S at the end. They enunciate it, Illinois.
I
Right,
like this guy
Misador?
right here. Paul, he says it best. You put what you want on your hot dog. Chili, cheese, and onions. I like the chili. I like the cheese. Maybe not necessarily the chili, the onions. You could keep that. But I like the cheese. Definitely put cheese on a hot dog. Yes.
And the last one is
yes.
people say, what's the first room in your house? They call it a front room, correct? Front, right?
Sure.
Well, if you're from Illinois, they call it French room. Yeah, it's a French room.
Not the
Or
living
how
room?
about this one? There's a street in Chicago called Pulaski.
Pulaski.
But when you have that Chicago accent, it's called Pulaski. I'm from Archer and Pulaski. And I could see it in front of my French room.
Well, listen, I need Misador to either call in or get in here on this NFL mock draft. And if you don't know what we're doing right now on the Sports Web, a 8-year anniversary fan mock draft. Get on the phone lines if you want one of these picks coming up. And who do we got coming up? The New York Jets. Where is our guy at? Where's our guy? Where's our
Nobody
Jets
wants
fan
the Jets.
Who's our guy that does the
It's
Jets?
Jacob.
They better.
Where's Jacob at?
I never told Jacob about it, but they better take a quarterback because they're going to need
Can
one.
we get Jacob on
This
here?
one's only going to last 8 snaps.
Jacob probably in college enjoying himself.
Let me
that's
tell
for
you
sure.
something. Jacob's going to the University of Syracuse. He
Or
is
that-
really,
yes.
he is killing it up there. So proud of that young man. And I'm telling you, you will see him on the NFL Network or ESPN in the next, are you ready? 10 years. I promise you.
I agree. I completely agree. Definitely, he's a guy that's growing. I mean, we had him on when he was, 14, 15 years old?
Oh, stop. He was 17.
Well, he's young.
He's an up and comer for sure, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go out to the tribal troll here.
Acknowledge me.
Okay, real quickly, I have to back up Harry. I want to kill people that say Illinois.
Okay.
Yes.
How is
It
that
is
a
a front room.
Illinois.
Oh,
Me and my
stop it,
family
Peter.
have been here since 1984,
Okay.
and we still call it the French room.
It's the French room.
A French room?
Yeah, it's the French room.
Yeah.
They don't know how to. They want to crunch it all in one word. It's a French room. You know.
A living room?
Yeah, the front room. The French room. It's out front. We're sitting by the porch watching Pulaski.
The
It's
living room.
It's close to Canada, eh?
Hey,
I've never actually heard that. That's why I was like, are you talking about because I know some people have like a living room where they're like, we don't touch the stuff in this living room.
No,
This
in my
is
French
special
room
stuff.
when I was growing up, my mom had the French room with all the plastic and the the vinyl rubbers in the French room
Absolutely.
right out here.
And a nice rug.
100%.
All right, Roger. You want one of these picks, or you just want to talk?
No,
about
I just wanted to agree with him, back up Harry because he's 100% correct.
Okay.
See, Pete? You see? It's
And
easy.
I think I
Learn
actually
after
met
him.
Harry once on Pulaski.
Pulaski. Okay.
I used to work off of Archer and Pulaski.
There you go.
Really?
Yes, I did. There was a bowling alley over there.
I know exactly where it is.
Yes, sir. And right across the street was
All
the high
right,
school,
guys.
Howell High
Keep it up.
School.
Hey, my brother from Melrose. They both went to Proviso East and West.
Oh my God, that's
Wow.
talking something. You see,
All
there's
right.
a lot of Chicago here, guys.
I know there's a lot of Chicago, and you got to love that here on the Sports Web. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Bucs show. We love the Bucs. We talk about them ad nauseum. But your favorite team, whether it's the Bears whether it's the Lions, the Packers, oh my, whether it's the Saints, we'll accept it. Panthers, maybe not the Saints, but everybody else. Yeah,
Not on North Sports
They're not allowed to
Dynasty.
call the show.
No.
They're not allowed to vote in the chat or in the chat room. They're not allowed at all.
oh, they're
Why?
all
Because
they're all allowed.
Green Bay sucks.
All right.
That's right,
Thanks a lot,
baby.
Roger. Appreciate you as always. All right. I think I want to make the selection for the New York Jets. Let me go ahead and get my intro. With the 10th selection for the New York Jets, we select Talise Fayuka, offensive lineman, Oregon State. 1 sack in 2 years. So I'm going to go with that. And I tell you why we make that selection, because 4 plays into the season, Aaron Rodgers is out with an injury. So we've got to protect our quarterback because Rodgers going forward. I'm not drafting a quarterback there, even though you could go with the Bo Nix or even a Michael Penix Jr. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go with that selection. Let me go out to you, Harry. What do you think? Offensive lineman, once again, like Fashiono, and I don't know if I pronounce his name correctly there with Fugua, 1 sack in 2 years. Good selection, right, for the Jets?
It's, you know what? It's the most logical selection. I absolutely love that selection, even though I would love to see them not draft an offensive lineman because I'd like to see the guy last about 5 plays so they drill him right back in the dirt where he came from. But no, you made the correct selection there.
All right, there you go. Let me go out to the big board.
Andrew's going, God, he's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like Aaron
Those Americans are brutal.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is you were saying the Oregon State right tackle. That's Fuego, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this would be smart. This would be very smart for them, honestly. I mean, you need to get a guy in there just for the next 3 years that Aaron Rodgers is going to be there, and for your next quarterback that comes in there.
Do you really
That's
think
what
he's
he
going to
says.
last 3 years? Honestly,
I don't personally because
I mean, Tom Brady wanted to play till he was 50 and he didn't. I mean, they say what they're going to want.
I have a weird feeling like there's a few ways this can go, but there might be a way that the Jets actually get to the Final Four and they got to play the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some odd reason they play spoiler and they can get to the Super Bowl and say win it against whoever, there's a probability right there that Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm done. I'm done. Here you go, Jets. And now I'm going to live in the promised land forever. He's not even going to jeopardize that whole season afterwards. He's like, I am now a god and I'm going off to the promised land. But I don't see him going. I personally don't see him going to 3. I can see him doing 2. I can see him having 2 very good years and something coming out of that. But 3,
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be 3 years. Let me go back out to the comments here because you got Misador saying, can't, brother, I'm headed to bed. Got to be up at 3 a.m. All right. Priorities, my friend. Get some sleep. Porch, laugh my ass off. It's not the living room. It's more of a family room, says Misador. Let's go out.
He's from Indiana. That's why. He's not even a true Chicagoan.
I like Paul because Paul's tuning in here.
Hi, Paul. How are you, buddy?
Aaron Rodgers should just hit the defense with his walker.
Comment of the year.
Okay, comment of the year. Actually, I'll give him this one because I know you like it.
Yes! Yes!
All right, Bruto, try working with Harry, says Chuck Anderson. Tom,
Bring that back up. Bring that back up,
yes,
Chuck.
Yes.
Try working with Harry? Oh.
Yeah, try working.
Chucky. Oh, buddy.
Uh-oh.
I got a few extra hours for you coming up.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Wah, 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 wah. All right, Tom Banner says Bears.
Bears.
Chuck laughing. Me, Sador here. Bucks need to go edge tomorrow. Snag a BB in a second. Doubt we see it, but I would love it. I agree with you. I think they go with edge.
Lineman,
I mean, let me go out to you, Big Board. I feel like you go with Chop Robinson. If Jared Verse is possibly there, go with him. Latu out of UCLA. The more I do research on him, and then he was talking about joining up with his former teammate and a Joel Tryon Shayanka. So what about Latu at 26 for the Bucks? Will you be there, and is it a good value pick?
Wow.
I don't think he'll be there. Out of all the edge rushers, I think the 3-4 that we talk about being Dallas, Verse, Chop, and Dallas versus Chop, and there's another one I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, and Latu. There we go. And I don't think they're all going to be there, but if Latu's there,
Dallas versus Chop,
perfect.
Latu. Dallas versus Chop, Latu.
Latu,
It sounds like a
Dallas
good
versus
rap.
Chop,
That
Latu,
sounds
Dallas
like a good
versus
rap.
Chop.
That sounds like
Latu, Latu, Latu,
Dallas
Latu,
versus
Latu, Dallas, Latu.
I though
Peter, you need to cut that little segment right there and
Yeah.
make it an intro.
that was cool. Dallas first,
Then,
Dallas
verse.
Latu.
Latu, Chop Robinson, Chop.
Chop Robinson.
Okay, he's not allowed into it anyway. It's more of an Andrew Harry thing.
Whatever. Shut up. All right, Full Bear, go ahead.
I was going to say though, because I know there's there's apparently an injury thing with Latu that is kind of thrown a wrench into his availability at the top of the first round, so that's why he might fall to a couple other teams in the back end. But if we're going to take any chance on a guy who had an injury, I want Jay Newton from Illinois.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
And I tell you right now,
oh, hold on.
This could be a
He's done.
he said Illinois. There you go.
Okay.
Illinois.
If you come back on, you apologize. You can stay.
I'm sorry. I didn't even
Okay,
know
good. He's good.
Illinois
He's good.
was a
He's
thing,
good.
so that's why I had to throw it one
Oh,
time.
he did it
just
again.
Sounds weird. Like, why do you emphasis the S? There's no S. Come on.
No, bro, I'm not kidding you. It's like, when you're referring to someone like, "Hey, how are you guy doing?"
Yep.
They don't say that there. How you's doing?
How you doing?
No. How are yous? Hey, how you's doing? Hey, yous want to go out?
I mean, most people see.
What are you, Joe Pesci now?
No. Seriously, that's how we talk about it. Hey,
You-
what are yous doing tonight?
What
You
are
think I'm funny? You think I'm some kind of funny guy? Huh? Do
There
I
you
make
go.
you laugh?
I thought you
wanna-
said spider.
Oh, the spider? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
So what pick are we on, ladies and gentlemen?
We are at number 11 for the Minnesota Vikings. Who wants to make this pick? Harry or Big Board? Big Board, you want to make this pick?
Yeah,
I
please.
can make this pick one.
All
Absolutely.
right. Let me go ahead and get you an intro. Here we go.
With the 11th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Michael Penix Jr. quarterback.
I love this pick. Let
Oh
me
my
just say
God.
that. I mean, 2 straight years of 4,500 passing yards. First player or second player to do that since who? Patrick Mahomes. I get it. He has ACL injuries. I get it. He's up there in age. But
37.
well, he's not 37. Shut up and be quiet.
This guy sucks.
Big Board, why did you make this pick with Penix Jr. to the Vikings? It's a perfect selection, by the way.
I think it's a little high, don't you?
It is a little bit high, but also looking at the way that everything's gone on this board, if this were to happen in real life, just the way that every pick is gone, Minnesota
is.
would have probably been trying to get ahead of the Raiders at 9 because somewhere.
Hold on? Do you honestly think in any kind of world that they would have traded? Do you think the Bears would have traded with Minnesota?
And that's
zero
the reason.
chance.
Yep. And that's the reason why I think so. Is like, I bet you any money once they saw, Drake may go at 6 and they realized that there is a chance that JJ could eventually go, 9 or 10 by somebody else trading in and they don't get the trade done. That's when I think they start to worry. So
Okay.
if this is the way that it fell, a lot of people would say, well, you could trade back and you could probably still get Michael Penix.
Maybe not.
There's 2 to 3 teams in this draft that in the nicest way, I don't trust with the way that they're looking at Michael Penix because they've brought him in, they've done their studying, but they haven't really talked about it. One of them's the Rams. And I could definitely see the Rams coming up and grabbing Michael Penix before the Vikings. The other one that I could see is the Dolphins. If you want to talk about having a left-handed quarterback and then a fresh left-handed quarterback, you're basically pushing Tua out the door and you don't have to pay him. And I'm technically okay with that because of the age of what Michael Penix is. And he's from the Florida area. So I could also see that. And then a third team as well, if Michael Penix was falling and stuff like that, that I could see sniffing at the opportunity of an injured quarterback that, is done with his injuries and coming in is the Cleveland Browns. is them admitting to themselves, you know what, maybe this Deshaun Watson experiment hasn't necessarily been the right move, and we can move up into the draft here, give up a little bit of capital, and have our guy in-house.
I would love to go ahead and just jump on top of the Cleveland Brown comment. I mean,
Mhm.
don't you think eventually they'll be able to massage the details out?
Oh, jeez.
Just had to throw that out there.
Well played. Well played.
Well, very
Had
good.
to. With the 12th pick, I am going to even let Mr. Faubert take it again.
All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to go into the comments really quick. We'll hold off on that. Chuck laughing. Latu will be there. I think that's what he said.
Late will be there.
Well, I think he's saying Latu.
No, he was talking about he was going to be late.
Oh, he's going to be late. Okay. All right. I think Harry and Pete should try and look like AJ Hawk doing the Pat McAfee show. Love that. That would be good.
Hang on. I got something for Banner. Hang on. It's right here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't know what the heck was going on here for a second.
Oh, look what I got, Banner.
Sorry.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that, Tom.
Oh, very good. Very good. All right. Let's go on to Tom. Penix equals a bust. In your opinion, why do Full Bear? Why do people think that Penix is going to be a bust?
He's not going to be a bust, man.
Or what is it? What is it about people thinking that Penix is going to be a bust?
I think it's the injury. I think it's the left-handedness. Injuries, I should say. The left-handedness. I think some people think that it would only fit in certain systems, which is one of the reasons why, respectively, the Bucs let Steve Young go. But there, I think he's also got a very I'm winning now attitude. From what a few people have said from the scouting combine and afterwards and doing the draft process with him, there has been a couple of comments about he's not over the loss from the national championship. And some people think that is maybe too arrogant for what he wants to accomplish in the NFL. But
and who are you regarding? Who are you referencing?
With regards to
what your comment is?
Oh, Penix Jr.
Oh, yeah, Michael Penix Jr. Yeah. I want to jump on that when you're done.
Yeah, it's there's a few people that just they don't like that attitude. Same reason why a few teams are out on the Spencer Rattler thing, and some people are obviously in on Spencer Rattler and possibly the early second. The injuries is probably the main thing, but also at the same time too, if Penix didn't have any of these injuries, we would probably be talking about a record-breaking draft class with quarterbacks. There are some very good quarterbacks that could be in the second and third round that we're not even talking about. And Penix is not going to the second. That's for sure. So
no, he's not going.
I honestly thought that he would. If it didn't turn around, I didn't think he would be drafted this high merely because of big board. It's because of his age and his injury, being injury prone. But I would say it's not fair to say he's injury prone. He had one real devastating injury with the ACL. It is fixed. He has proven himself. And I will say the one thing about Michael Penix Jr. He has the capabilities of being the steal in this draft. And I'm going to tell everybody why. That game against Texas, if everybody can remember that throw, there were very few quarterbacks ever, not only to have the testes to even throw that football, but to complete that pass. That was a thing of beauty. The downside to Michael Penix Jr., and I've noticed this watching tape on the young man, every time he throws the ball, he's ducking. He's got his head going down like this because he's afraid of getting hit. And in the National Football League, you better keep them eyes looking forward at all times because throwing the ball and ducking your head can be a problem. For those reasons why I thought he would fall late into the first rounds. However, that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to go in the top 15. I just thought because of all the quarterbacks that were in the NFL draft this year and such a great stable of quarterbacks that he would probably be one of the last ones taken out of the big group.
And I tell you right now, if Al Davis were still alive, he would be running to the podium for Penix because he's the perfect quarterback for him.
And they love their left-handers.
Yeah, they do. And then on top of it, Kenny the Snake Stabler comes to mind, right? Out of Alabama. And, Davis always wanted that guy to throw the ball down the field, and they kind of want to throw the ball down the field there. So, maybe Jaden Daniels, maybe they try to trade up for Jaden Daniels. That's been the talk. But with Penix, let's say he does get past the Raiders and the Broncos and the Vikings, and there is a possibility he gets past the Rams. If he's there at 26 big board, do the Bucs have to take him?
I
How can you though, man?
Here's the thing. I remember when I first got into my relationship with Kim, we were in a hotel room when I watched the draft when hometown kid Vernon Hargreaves was drafted. And I basically was in tears. I was like, let's go. We're starting to do this hometown stuff. Tampa gets drafted by Tampa if you prove yourself. And that didn't really work out.
No.
So that's why, as much as I want Michael Penix Jr. to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, because I know that he could either push Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield could be a lot better than what he was last year, but it also allows cap flexibility going further than that because you have him in the first round. I would love it. I just do not think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'd love it too, but they've invested a lot of money in Baker Mayfield. That pick's not going to happen, in my own honest opinion. I'm not trying to tell someone you're wrong.
Nope.
Look, I'd love to see him in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform as well, but that's just basically saying, hey, I got another selection wrong, just like they did with some Florida Gator quarterback that I really don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Who hasn't made it to the field. You can't waste 2 picks.
Yeah.
And you like to use the word waste. You can't use 2 picks, and you haven't even used one of them to get them on the field yet. That's just my opinion on it. Who's next pick?
Let's go to the Denver Broncos. Who wants to make that? I was going to make that pick.
Go ahead, make the Denver Bronco pick.
All right, here we go. For the number 12 pick, the Denver Broncos select Bo Nix, quarterback of Oregon. And I'll tell you right now.
And they just got Stifler from the New York Jets.
And that's the point. He's not the answer. He's a
right, Full Bear? Right, Full Bear? Was that not the comment of the week? They just got Stifler.
The internet was just like all these moms running to the Denver Mile High being like, woo.
Oh, it's high, all right.
Yeah, I like Bo Nix because I tell you why. You know, look at his touchdown to interception ratio last year: 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 29-7. Progressively, every year he's gotten better ever since he transferred from Auburn. I know there's some questions about him throwing the ball down the field, but you know that was also said about Aaron Rodgers. Well, he didn't throw the ball down the field, and he turned out to be a pretty damn good quarterback. With Sean Payton, you know, you got somebody that you can develop. Zach Wilson is not the answer. Bo Nix, in my opinion, is. You could have gone with an edge rusher because I believe Dallas Turner and Jared Verse are still on the board for the Chicago Bears, but I had to go with Nix. Harry, what do you think of the selection?
I love the selection. Can we get to the next?
I know you want to get well, thank you for the analysis. Full Bear. Bo Nix. Believe it, Bo.
Bo Nix? I like the selection? I think it's horrible. Bo Nix shouldn't even be drafted in the first 3 rounds. He sucked at Auburn.
Oh my God.
Here. You know what? I'm gonna show you exactly what I think of it. Tom Banner says this guy should lay off the K2.
He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to you.
No. He was talking to you.
He was not. Full Bear, what do you think? Bo Nix.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Bo Nix does go to the Denver Broncos, you can sign me up for all trade availability in any fantasy football aspect that involves Javonte Williams.
Thank you very much, my friend.
You like Bo Nix?
Yeah,
if he goes to Denver, we've always talked about the proper situations for quarterbacks. Like, for example, if Penix were to go to the Raiders or if he goes to the Vikings, those are the best situations for him. If Bo Nix were to go to the LA Rams or the Denver Broncos, or even in a weird kind of way, the Seattle Seahawks, where he can be developed by some of these, decent head coaches and the new head coaches, I think he will have success. And he needs to have a running back, though. And the reason why with Denver it would work is Javonte Williams has a very good ability to deke people, and he is a very good pass catching running back. So if for some odd reason Bo Nix goes there, I want him.
All right. So you're not a big fan of it. Phone lines are open. We don't have the phone number, but you guys know 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Yes.
Full Bear.
Yeah.
I got your next dinner with you and your wife. If Bo Nix doesn't have to get drafted by them, if he goes in the top 20 picks.
Yeah. I do think there is the whole talk that Denver wants to trade back, and I think they realize that they probably can get Bo Nix towards the end of the draft, and that I do agree with you.
I
don't
think they
he's
like
gonna be
Zach
top 20.
Wilson. You want to know the truth? I'm telling you now, they got Zach Wilson because they think, Lord forgive me, that he's the
Lord
next
forgive me.
He's the next you know who from New Orleans.
Oh my God, Drew Brees! Don't even.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah,
That's what
true.
they're thinking.
Well, I mean, I don't
That's
know
what they're
thinking.
thinking.
Got rid of Russell Wilson. Now they think Zach Wilson is the savior there. I don't buy that. Again, you could have gone with edge. Dallas Turner still being on the board. Are you surprised by that? Anybody?
Yes.
Why are you surprised by it?
Yes.
Because if Atlanta and Dallas in real life have passed up on Dallas Turner, somebody is coming up. Like the Colts are coming up, the Saints are probably coming up. Dallas Turner, and again, in a right situation, in the right scheme and stuff like that, is going to do very good. That's why I do think Atlanta is. It almost seems like he is going to be a Falcon, provided something doesn't happen and they don't fall in love with somebody else before tomorrow. But yeah, I Dallas Turner, the one name right now for sure in this draft right here being available is quite surprising.
Yeah, it is. But that's why you love the mock draft here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. Open phone lines. If you want to get in on video, the link is out there. 727-255. God bless you.
Thank you.
0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to these comments, and then we will get back to our draft as the Chicago Bears are on the clock. Let's
Both
see.
of my guys are there.
All right, let's go out to Tom. Got a call from Club Oz. Why is my Jeep there? Wait a minute. The
He
Browns
borrowed it.
got that powerhouse, Jameis Winston. We shut up and be quiet.
This guy sucks.
Penix as a southpaw won't be very strong. Roger Shue says catch up. Tom again. Penix sucks. Tom not a big Michael Penix guy. This guy.
What's all the Tampa hate for the Tampa guy, guys?
No, what is all that about? KR, you were awesome tonight. Thank you for coming in. Absolutely was awesome tonight. Woo! Christopher Cole, Arch Manning to the Bucks in a few years. I know you're a college guy here. Arch Manning to the Bucks in a couple years. That's your future franchise quarterback, Big Board.
I like Arch Manning. I joked, tank for May 2023. I've joked about that. Alex Loosemore is the one person that's known this since the year 2000. I give me Arch Manning on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2027, please, because it's the marketing that comes with it. It's a Manning in-house, and that means you want to talk about everyone in Tampa that I've talked to some people, not everyone. That's right. A little respect. A lot of people want a new arena eventually, and that's probably going to come in say like 10 or 15 years. And the Manning family is a very good help in that. So I would like Arch Manning if he ends up being just, a sliver of what he is right now in college and to the pros. I would love nothing more than to have him as a Buccaneer as well.
Great comment.
All right, really quick, let me go ahead and produce on air here because we just got somebody that just called or text in. We got JC Allen coming on the show here in just a little bit. We're going to get his expertise making some picks. So let me see if I can hold on a sec there. Hold on. All right. Wow. I cannot talk right now. So there we go.
Harry, do you want to go check up on Peter there quick for me, please?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
let him choke.
No, here we go. I need something to drink. That's what it is. Okay.
Always. I've learned doing these shows with you for almost 8 years, technically, as well.
Yes.
Popping up on your shows. So shout out to you again. Happy anniversary.
Appreciate that.
I've learned to have water around every single time.
I've learned to have bourbon.
Well, you definitely need to have bourbon at this.
One
I
bourbon?
need some, no, I have my Woodford Reserve right up here at Double Oak, and I'm really enjoyed sometimes on the rocks. I have to.
All right.
One bourbon, one scotch, one beer? Like, is that
One bourbon, one
There you
scotch, one beer.
One beer. All right. So I sent you, JC, the link there. If you want to come on, we'll come on video. Again, no avatars. We'd like to see your face tonight. No avatars to the fans. Again, call in 727-255-0391. It's 0391. You got to love this. Da Bears. $20 super chat as we got JC Allen in the back room. Let me read the rest of these comments, and then we will get out to him and recap this draft. Meltdown Media, I'm the tribal troll. I'm the only one that gets acknowledged here. Again, KR, great job tonight. Christopher Cole about the Arch Manning. Chuck, Turner will end up with the Jags. So Dallas Turner go all the way to, was it number 17 to the, I don't know, guys, but interesting in itself. Let's go out to Sean Spencer. What's up? Hey, if you want to get in here and make a pick, I know you wanted somebody else, Drake May, for the Commanders. So you could definitely make that selection. Where's Tampa Bay, Ray and Leo?
They're on their way.
Just a little bit. And Sean, again, JD5 to the Commanders. I wanted Drake May, but I get it. Let's go ahead and get this guy on, who actually started out 4 years ago on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, giving me his Patriot analysis, giving me his Tom Brady analysis, and now you see him all across the Bay Area covering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mr. JC Allen, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, your mock draft edition. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great. This is where I got my big break. All started back in March of 2020 when Brady officially announced his signing. Gronk came a couple weeks later. There's just a caller on the show until I was invited to participate in the Patriots mock draft. Everyone came with I think you'd be a good fit because of this. Not your boy. Your boy came with pages of documented research why the Patriots should take Jalen Hurts at 23. They didn't, and he only went on to go to the Eagles and be a tremendous quarterback. And the Patriots have nobody. From there it was I was approached by then at the time the head of Bucks Report and
the evil empire
asked if I did any writing before. I said not in college. I'll give it a try, and I got myself credentialed to the Bucks and to the NFL and started my own podcast, The Audible, with Joshua Cole Allen, if y'all remember that. I got the banner somewhere around there.
I got the banner somewhere. Hold on a second. Is it here somewhere?
And then I climbed up through the ladders there until I am where I am with Sports Illustrated.
Oh, here it is. Hold on.
I already know what it is.
And that's all you get right there. I still have that. Yes, absolutely.
It's got the BR there. You got to take that down.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh, boy.
I don't care. I'm with Bucks Life. I'm with everybody now. It is what it is. It was our evolution. You're definitely an extension of the show. I'm proud to have you a part of this through the last 4 years because you're a big part of it. Harry, Full Bear. I mean, we were talking to Philip Schwegler the other day, trying to get him on.
Oh, wow.
Ray. Even Blake Anthony, I don't know where he's at right now, but if you're
working.
Yeah, he's working.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come on and make a pick, he can. Sean Spencer. Alex wants to say this. Ketchup and grilled onions. Love you, Harry. So he got you back. And again,
What's up, JCA?
A sucks report, says Roger Shue. All right. Who is on the board? Oh, yeah. It is the Chicago Bears, but let me go ahead and recap for JCA in case he didn't watch.
So he can understand how the Bears ended up so far down from that 9th pick. Yeah,
well,
he's very smart.
Yeah, Chicago go.
I don't even know where we're at. What pick are we on?
We're on 13 right now, but
who did the Pats take?
Well, the Pats took, and I took that pick. Well, actually, excuse me.
No.
Harry
the Greek took that pick.
Yes, go ahead and tell him who you took at 3.
The best player in the draft, Marvin Harrison Jr., and I have reasons for it. Because they can still get a quarterback later on in the draft. They need that playmaker, JCA. I think he's going to the Patriots, and it'll be the best move for them because Jacoby Brissett will now have a weapon.
What do you think here, JC? Good pick?
Is it really out of the realm? Can it happen, JCA?
I don't think it's out of the realm. I'm trading back, or I'm taking Drake May. I'm trading back with the Vikings and getting that 11 and 23, and then I'm probably moving up from there, getting one of those 3 wide receivers and taking Penix at 23, and then taking a tackle at 34. I'm going to work the board somehow to do that.
Probably the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's not far-fetched because you take the best player.
But Marvin Harrison's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a generational talent. And then on top of it, if you feel like you have any questions about that franchise quarterback in a May, because at the time, Caleb Williams is off the board. You go with Jaden Daniels, possibly talk of the Patriots and going Mayo liking him. at that
Not
point.
to mention, it would be the ultimate and Marvin Harrison was a very, very likable receiver.
Yeah.
He's one of the best receivers of that generation, but he spent a long time with the Colts, and for his son to go from to the Patriots, that would just be a little bit one last dagger for Deflategate there down in the snitches down there in that Indianapolis.
Snitches get stitches. There you go. Yes, with Harrison Jr. going, of course, talking about Deflategate with the Patriots and the Colts. What was that during the divisional game? There wasn't the was it the AFC? No, AFC Championship game.
It was I think it
was it divisional. It was divisional.
It was the divisional because they tipped the was it the Steelers off for the next game against the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Who's on the board? Okay, it is this team right here. And the reason why we were at 13 because right there you go, exactly. Very good. We got a trade there. Harry traded down with the Raiders. The Raiders selected JJ McCarthy. And now Harry is on the board. Who you take? You ready for the intro?
Yeah, I'm ready for the intro, but I'm going to let these two gentlemen take that pick. I'm going to give them 2 picks, and they tell me why they would take them.
All right, hold on a sec then. All right, so who are we going to start with? Full Bear first, and then JC. All right, let's go out to Full Bear here. Here's your intro.
Uh-oh, what are we doing?
The 2 picks were Troy Fautanu, the offensive tackle from Washington, and or Jared Verse from FSU. Why and which one?
Give me Jared Verse. Reason why, I like the fit. I think he would fit well, obviously, as a Chicago Bear. If I'm not mistaken, he would fit their scheme that they're trying to implement, which I believe is 3-4. And he's a leader. He's a leader in the locker room. He's someone that I would love to follow to the Buccaneers, or if the Buccaneers could trade up and have a chance at him, that would also be great. But give me Jared Verse on that Chicago Bears defense all day, every day.
I love the pick there, JC. What do you say? Let me go ahead.
Hold on. I got it, Peter.
Yes. Okay. Very good. You're learning from me. That's very good. All right. Yes. Who do you got for the Bears?
I'm going Troy Fautanu all day. You got to protect your investment. You're investing a first overall pick in Caleb Williams. You've got to protect him. He's one of the best tackles in the class. If you need to, you can kick in the guard at any point in time, and it'll be spectacular there. He's got Pro Bowl, all-pro potential at tackle and at guard. And I think you're coming back in that second round. There are going to be guys like Darius Robinson there, Marshawn Nealon, Chris Braswell, who could fit that defense as well. In a really good fit too. But give me one of the best tackles in the draft. I'm going Troy Fautanu there.
All right, there you go, Harry. What's the final selection?
I'm taking Troy Fautanu. The Chicago Bears picked up 2 additional picks just to move back 4 spots like that. I totally agree with JCA on that. They can address that defensive line and one edge rusher that they actually need in the 2nd or the 3rd rounds.
I'm going to tell you right now,
best, according to consensus pick, the best defensive pass rusher in the draft, the young man from Alabama. I keep forgetting his name. JCA, help me out. Yeah, and he has not been picked yet.
He has
not.
Would have
been Dallas Turner.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
No, but I gave you guys 2 picks.
Yeah,
I only gave you 2 picks.
I have Fautanu. My write-up. Fautanu's perfect fit for his zone-based scheme, plays with Mauler mentality, has great balance, lateral agility, can get out in space as a puller on screens. He'll surprise defenders with a vicious punch that has positional versatility. Knocks on him. He can overextend and overset at times, and a light lower body leaves him susceptible to power rushers in some instances. But he's great. 6'3", 317, 5.50, 140. I like Fautanu a lot.
He's just another guy that carries a lunch pail, bro. In Chicago, we call them Grabowskis.
Well,
now, quickly, if I'm not mistaken, this is also the Washington person we're talking about here.
Yes,
now, if I'm also not mistaken, from a couple of years, there was a Washington player that Mr. J.C. Allen wrote about that on Twitter not too many people were fond of. Then all of a sudden he gets drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's one of the best damn defensive tackles in the league. So I'm going to go with this as well. I like it. Give us more Washington players.
I like it too. And Listen, Jared Verse is a great pick, and I definitely think you solidify your defensive line there. You got another bookend to pair with Montez Sweat, but you also need to protect your quarterback. That's exactly what you didn't do with Justin Fields. That's exactly what the Chicago Bears team should do at 9 or trade out. Harry, you definitely called it. You guys all called it. You killed that pick. Let's go back out to KR here. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it. Basru and Nunabi. Well,
Bashiru.
I don't know what he said.
It's Ayubami.
How are you going to get ready to say some of these draft names? No, I'm just kidding.
I can't say anything.
Ayubami.
And what
Bashiru Ayubami. It's probably we're probably
That's my
cursing
next
at somebody in
Karen
Kenya.
Abengdaji.
Anadaji.
I think we're. I think
Justin
what's
Boydby?
happening is we're cursing at someone from Kenya.
Shut up.
What are you guys getting me into?
All right,
I don't
so
know.
I got to get this guy on there. I think he's ready to go. Is he ready to go? Let's see here. No, that's that is nothing there. So Jason Powers is about to come on here in just a little bit, so we'll get him on. Mike
Jason Powers Johnson.
No, not Jackson Powers. Jason Powers, right there.
This is powered by sports. Mr. Poker Man himself, Texas Hold'em guy.
Yes,
Doesn't know what brisket is right there.
my tag team partner of the world, Mr. Jason Powers, coming on. Full Bear says Mike DeRoche, a former
Maple syrup. Maple syrup.
Zero.
Maple
right
syrup.
there. Yes.
Hey, Mike DeRoche, isn't he from that town close to Virginia?
Oh, jeez.
He's from Canada. He's never had brisket before.
No, he's close to it. I think it's called Virginia or
No,
Regina.
he's in Manitoba. He's in Winnipeg.
He's from Canada.
Then who was close to that town that lived up there? Was it you or him?
I don't
No,
know.
he would be a little bit closer to Regina than I
You're
am.
talking about the
That's-
guy from Oklahoma? Who's the Oklahoma guy?
That was oh God, please, Lord forgive us. for
Crap.
bringing it up.
Matt Coulson. Matt
Yeah,
Coulson.
Matt
Matt
Coulson.
Coulson,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got Coulson still. Yeah, Matt's still
Matt's
popping
all right.
around on NSD and stuff too.
Okay,
so.
there you go. Matt
All right.
Coulson.
Hold on. This
Yeah.
You got us
this
some
just
trouble.
came up. If you ever bring that name up, you will be banned for life.
Oh.
Sorry.
AC Allen is love everybody. Don't put me in this position.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
Oh,
no
you
hate.
love everybody. I love them too.
We love everybody. Yeah, I love everybody.
Pete, I would love to hang out, guys, seriously, because I don't ever really get a chance to hang out with my boy JC Allen, Andrew Faubert.
Especially
For
on
people-
screen.
Yeah, yeah, really. JC, I
stay
can't hang
for-
on.
stay for a
Hang on.
little
I got powers to do this. Hold on. Oh my God, check him out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You
look
gave
at
him
That's that
powers?
Tampa
Why would you do
Cruise.
that?
I
Look at
like that. I
You
like
got
that up
Jason
on the
Powers
wall.
in the back. Harry, you got to hang out for a little bit longer because you got Jason Powers coming on. We got some
But I
more.
can't.
Leo.
Jason Powers Johnson.
Yeah, Jason
Okay.
Powers Johnson's coming on.
Jackson Powers Johnson.
The Greek really has to leave. He has some
All
unfortunate
right.
circumstances he has to take care of.
Uh,
Mom just got out of the hospital. I'm sure you guys really understand that.
Mhm.
But and I just heard someone go wah 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 wah. Anyway, you can catch me here Monday and Wednesday nights right here live on the Sports Web. I'm the co-host to Mr. Peter Blake. Thanks for everybody who went ahead and just supported everything that we're doing. But Peter, seriously, guys, thank you so much. I have to go. Very nice talking to you. If I can, I will jump back on here very shortly, and I can't wait to hear who everybody's going to pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I love it because it's coming up here, and I think that's where we're going to end. I don't think we're going to do the whole draft. We'll do 26 to up to the Bucks, and I think everybody wants to do up to the Bucks and see who's on the board at this point. Dallas
6
Turner
picks
still
left. You wouldn't finish it?
Jared, I mean, we could definitely go.
I can't stick around for it. I got to finish my mock that's coming out tomorrow. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I was literally doing the same, and then I saw the invite, and I was like, I'll pop on while I'm doing both. Why not?
Well, you guys
Bye, guys.
stand by here. All right, there you go. Harry the Greek is
Harry.
out here. We'll get on Jason Powers when he's ready to go. All right, guys. The New Orleans Saints are on the board. Who wants to take this selection?
what's the best punter left available?
Dude, that's funny. I was thinking, I was like, okay, so they take Torrey Taylor as their first
And
they
then-
take the Iowa punter at number 14. I'm okay with it. Sounds good to me.
I mean, who's available for left tackles?
Well, you got I thought it was gonna be Fashanu, but he's not there. We already took
Fashanu's gone. Alt's gone.
Fashanu.
Fashan. Fuega's gone. Fashanu's gone.
Is JC Latham second round?
he
No,
is he is
JC
on the board. So do you want to take this selection?
I think they're probably looking for a tackle.
All right,
here.
let me go ahead and go and get you the
Oh,
entry.
Dallas Turner is good value for them as well.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I don't know.
Here we go.
I'm gonna give it to Bear. Bear, you take it.
Full Bear will take it. Go ahead, big boy.
Dear, someone's gonna clip the fact that I just picked for the Saints. Honestly, the New Orleans Saints select Dallas Turner.
All right.
If I'm sitting there at 14, my offensive line issues, I think it's not Ramczyk, it's the other guy there, one more year to see if he could possibly, get over that sophomore slump. But the fact that you would be able to put an elite type of edge rusher onto that defense while they're still trying to compete in the South, that's a very smart decision for the New Orleans Saints, in my opinion. I would take Dallas Turner over the offensive lineman.
Well, and I kind of disagree with that because I would take an offensive lineman, J.C. Latham there.
I would have went Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to pick for the Saints.
But Dallas Turner's got more value because he's supposed to go top 10.
BPA.
He would be a killer. Yeah, best player available. JC, talk about Turner to the Saints and what he could bring to the show there.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas Turner, he is one of these guys who is a quick twitch athlete, can get after the quarterback with ease. Played in Alabama, so he's pro ready. I didn't write him up on my previews because I didn't think he has a chance to fall in with the Bucks. So just kind of like briefly studying and looking at him, he'd be a hell of a get. I think there at 14, he should go way before that. I don't think he even sniffs that position that far down to the draft. Let me just get to him. I have a few things on him, but I didn't do a full.
Yeah, that's all right. No problem. Take your time here as you're producing on air. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, I got him right here. Explosive edge rusher, like I said, with body twitch, hand usage, play strength, to leverage blocks. He's got great bend, freaky tools. He's an impact player in the NFL. I mean, there's really, not a lot to dislike about him. You can nitpick his size. He's only 6'3". 256. Usually, you like edge rushers to be around 6'5", a little bit heavier, but I mean, he can continue to grow into his frame, add some more bulk, especially some strength to his lower body. He's got to get a little bit better of a rush plan, where he's setting guys up throughout the course of the game. But I mean, there's really not a lot that can really kind of for negatives and knocks on him. He's an aggressive guy, sometimes over aggressive, but yeah, he's an absolute stud.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I was sorry to cut you off there. I was just going to say, and to add to that, 2 years ago, he was playing alongside Will Anderson, and Will Anderson, got traded up for, and a lot of people were thinking that he wouldn't necessarily be able to do good by himself this year without having that extra help. And he did respectable. That's why Braswell also is one of the reasons why he's probably going to get a little bit of looks probably towards the end of the first and the early second as well.
11 sacks last year, 15.5 tackles for loss.
And then on top of it, guys, Cam Jordan is getting up there in age, so it definitely would make sense. I tell you what, let's go out to this guy. Hold on, though. I want to read this comment. He's talking about Rick Hughes, Mike DeRoche. The dude is a dick. Ha, ha, ha. I'm salty tonight. Roger says, Peter, use that super chat to get hot dogs and a bottle of ketchup. You animal.
Oh, yeah.
We will do their super chats are open. Facebook stars. Phone lines are open if you want to make some selections. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Peter was in the Bucks' most critical need. What is
what is the Bucks' most critical need of the 2026? What are you trying to say?
Let me ask. Edge rusher for me, and that's also edge rusher for you, Full Bear. Is it edge rusher or is it an interior line with Jackson Powers Johnson?
I'm still on the edge here as well for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. On the edge. All right, let's go out to Tampa Bay. We're waiting for Jason Powers there. Once he comes on, we'll get his selection. Mr. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Hey!
Get the band back together.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my God, are the Beatles getting back together?
Are they? You heard this? What's up, fellas? Great show so far tonight. Just having a good time and getting ready for tomorrow night's draft. And even though there's going to be some surprises and we're all waiting, we bated breath. It's like tonight's show. Some of the trades, some of the things that are going down. It's actually a little bit more fun. So, yes, thanks for having me in here tonight.
All right. Let's see here. Hold on a sec. Don't know what the problem is. I'm sitting here. I can't see you. That's why. Let me go out to Jason Powers. Jason, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't see you though.
Thing over his thing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Take the overlay off.
I don't know what the problem is here. Let me
take the overlay off. We want to see your face.
Show us your face. We want to see your face.
Face.
Your face. God damn it.
In the face.
Okay, let's try this here.
Oh, that's a wall.
You see a wall now. Yeah,
that's drywall.
Well, that's
another wall.
That's a
pink
brick
wall.
I don't know what the problem is. I've never had this issue before.
Is Pink Floyd getting back together?
There's another brick in the wall right there. I see it.
Go ahead. Do me a favor. Go ahead. Come in and go out and then come back in, and we'll see if we can fix it that way. All right, my friend.
Oh, how's it?
Oh, we got him, Jason Powers Johnson.
There you are. All right.
Like Jason Powers Johnson.
Yes, Jason Powers Johnson. They're talking about your name. In your opinion, what is the most critical need for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 26? Welcome to the Evolution, Jason.
What's going on, fellas? Hope everybody's doing well. Been listening to some of the chat in the last half hour or so. I would say off interior offensive line, center, left guard. I would say number 2. If a great corner falls, I think you take a great corner at 26. I don't know if Zion McCollum is the answer there, and you can't ever have enough good corners this day and age.
All right, Indianapolis is on the board. Ray? Do you want this pick? Can you make this pick, or are you going to allow it to somebody else?
Oh, no, I'll make the pick, but I wanted to first, if I can real quick, behind Jason there, 100% agree with the interior offensive line. And I always make the prediction every year, but I haven't made it since before even 2020 because it's been pretty much an uphill rise on this roller coaster for the past few years. But it's like, Jason Light always try to draft back for drop back on trade, acquire more picks, and then find it. Look, I think still looking for an Ali Marpet and the fact that he can find those diamonds in the rough, and that's why Jason Powers 100% on the interior offensive line. If I'm talking about the New England Indianapolis Colts, we got Richardson, got our quarterback. No, I can't take this, guys. Go ahead, somebody else.
All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and select this pick here. Let me get my intro on. With the number 15 selection for the Indianapolis Colts, we choose tight end out of Georgia, Brock Bowers.
There you go.
Brock Bowers.
Right, exactly. Brock. But listen, it makes sense there because you got Pittman Jr. You do have a new quarterback. What's the quarterback's best friend besides the running game? A tight end. This kid could go top 10. If he's there at 15, I think the Colts have to run to the podium. Let me start out with you here, Tampa Bay Ray, and then I'll go out to you, Jason, and we'll go around a little bit here. But Tampa Bay Ray, what do you think about Bowers to the Colts?
I know Bowers is a dog, and I know that kid can play. So I know you can't lose with drafting a talent like that. If you're going to use him, it's like I got to go back and look at Richardson's history. Does he have the history of looking to doing the second check down or going to the tight end underneath, or more of a run first type of a guy that maybe doesn't make that read? Because then you find yourself with like the Atlanta Falcons, and they got Kyle Pitts, and they could never figure out how to use him. But if he's there and they got a plan to use him, I think that would be a great pick.
All right, let me go back out to Jason Powers here. I mean, Bowers, you take a tight end this high. I mean, a lot of people would say O.J. Howard at 19, but Bowers could be the exception, right?
Look at their roster. They have, other than Michael Pittman, who's their number 2 wide receiver. You can't name them. You got Jonathan Taylor at tailback. That'd be a perfect mix. You got Bowers, who can flex out to be a kind of he doesn't have to be an inline blocker as much. Yeah, and again, they're going to run that zone read, which is going to open up space in the middle of the field with those linebackers moving around. Bowers would be a great pick here, and there's also a lot of speculation that the Colts might be in the Brandon Ayuk trade business. So don't be surprised if Brandon Ayuk maybe is a guy the Colts maybe give up a second or third round pick for, and obviously they'd have to sign him to that big deal, which they would do if they trade for him. But you pair up Pittman, Ayuk, and Bowers, now you got something for Anthony Richardson.
I tell you right now, that's what it's all about here, Big Board. It's about getting weapons for Richardson, who got hurt early on in the year. You get a Bowers who not only can block. I mean, what do you see with his game that's a pro? And then what are the negatives that you see with this game? Does he have to improve in his blocking more? What's this kid got to do to take it to the next level, in your opinion?
I mean, he's never going to be a Rob Gronkowski kind of blocker. He's not going to be Rob Gronkowski blocking, but he can be Travis Kelce catching. He's got that athleticism. I mean, you saw what Georgia did with him. They put him all over the offensive formation. he would be a dynamic weapon in that kind of offense. I mean, you saw he's kind of like a Dallas Goedert in Philadelphia. That where did the coach from Indianapolis come from? Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert was a major weapon when they had it off, and they need another receiver. Michael Pittman's a good player. Is he elite? No, but they don't have a number 2 guy, so he would be their number 2 receiver.
All right, good stuff, Jason. I guess we lost Ray there, so we'll remove him. I don't know what's going on. I guess he's back. Ray, are you there? Ray is not there. It's typical here. Big board. What do you think of Bowers and Ayuk? Ayuk to the Colts there for a second-round pick. I mean, that's a steal. You pair him up with Pittman Jr. and Richardson's looking nice, right?
Yeah, Ayuk would probably fit that system a little bit better than I think necessarily.
Wait, did they just trade for Ayuk?
But
No, but I'm just saying that I heard there was a lot of speculation today that they may be that they're not going to be the 49ers can't sign him and have all that money they're spending on offense. I think he's going to get traded. Don't be surprised if
not. Come on, do a little
I'm
adjustment.
multitasking. I was like, wait a second, what?
Yeah,
but
I thought I heard that too.
The Colts might be in the market for Ayuk.
Yeah, I can see that.
I heard the Steelers are also in the market by Ayuk, and that would make lots of sense. That would give Russell Wilson another weapon there. JC, what about Bowers to the Colts and again Ayuk? I mean, yeah.
Bowers is just good fit at that point and a good value. I could definitely see them taking him there. They do have other needs to address, but when you get someone like Bowers, supposed to go top 10, one of the best players in this draft. You got maybe concerns about him not running the 40 and the speed. We know it's probably going to be around 4.6, high 4.6, low 4.7s. But you see what this guy can do. He's an athlete. He can get after he can get after it as far as just being a dynamic, dynamic playmaker who can do damage out of the slot, but also can do damage in line as well.
Love it. Good stuff. All right, let's go out to Mike DeRoche. Who's going to replace Carlton? I get hurt a lot. Davis, is that a need in your opinion? I'll go out to you, Jason. Could that be a need? Are we buying Zion McCollum and Jamel Dean? If there's a corner on the board, Cooper DeJean, Taron Arnold, a Kool-Aid McKestry.
Absolutely, that's a need.
Okay.
I mean, that's absolutely a need. I mean, there's no doubt that's a need. I mean, again, only Jason Light can tell you what he thinks is a bigger need with that or the interior line, but cornerback is absolutely a need. I mean, you got to have 3 guys, and at best, we probably have 2. With if you're assuming Zion McCollum's a starting player, that is absolutely a need. You cannot have enough corners in this league.
All right, let's welcome him back, guys. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. Tampa Bay Rays. Hey, did you get struck by lightning? Did a dog get by?
Yeah, no, that's what it was. It was a dog went by, and Ruth, her hair, I could feel, I'm back here. Her hair stood up so straight, I could feel like a breeze of it. So yeah, she got a little excited. And I didn't. I should have left it because there was no dog fight, but that dog may pass again, so the potential still exists.
Show Ruth really quick.
Ruth, come here.
Oh, look at that.
The cutest German Shepherd ever.
Look at that. A good doggy. Well, unlike my dog, my dog's laying down, but my dog never listens to anything I say. Hell, most of the people on this panel never listen to anything I say. Welcome to the Sports Lab. Right, exactly. All right, 16 for the Seattle Seahawks. Jason, do you want to take this pick?
Yeah, I will take this pick, sure.
Let me give you your intro.
How do you guys pick him without knowing who's available? You guys got a big board written down somewhere? Oh, Bear, do you have it?
He's got a tick in at the bottom.
Yeah.
Wait, Jason.
Yeah. Can't hear you.
I don't know what happened. What happened there?
Ray froze up.
Ray, you gotta love the Wi-Fi. All right, Jason. I love Ray. It's Ray. This is typical Ray. All right, let's go on to Ray.
Ray.
No, I was going to say,
Ready?
Jason.
Yep.
If you have a pick, I bow to you, please, sir. But if you don't, I think I might have one here at this pick that would surprise some people.
I got one here for you.
Let's
what
hear
did
it.
Seattle do? Seattle hired a defensive coach, right?
Yes.
Mike McDonald from Baltimore. What did Baltimore like to do? Rush the passer. Give me Jared Verse, Florida State.
Guys, I love that pick. He's exactly right. You could have gone with your namesake there, Jason Powers. Jackson Powers Johnson at the center position, but you got to like Jared Verse, which you get him here at number 16. Let me go out to you, big board. Verse to the Seattle Seahawks. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, plug and play, put him in, fits the culture, kind of got like that weird, like Bobby Wagner kind of swag to him, so that would be nice for Seattle, especially if there's availability is there at 16. So.
Well, that's absolutely correct, JC, right? I mean, Verse I love this kid, Verse. I think he's the cleanest prospect in this draft. What do you say?
Yeah, I think there's a couple other options there. Quinton Mitchell would be, I think, a good fit to pair up if he's still around. You could always look at offensive line as well. But, I mean, get an impact edge rusher. Byron Murphy would be interesting there as well, too, to pair him with, I think it was Quinton Jefferson or Quinton Williams. One of the Quintons.
Maybe a lot too as well. He's a Washington kid. They're probably very, very familiar with him. Obviously, we don't know what the medicals as far as his neck and what people think of that. But I mean, if you're looking for, again, defensive coach Mike McDonald, they've invested in the last couple of years a bunch in their offensive line. So you figured they would go maybe elsewhere other than that. But JC makes a good point about Quinyon Mitchell could be a guy there. But again, defensive coach. They usually like to make a defensive pick in that first draft that they oversee.
Mitchell and Witherspoon covering all the wide receivers in that division would be.
Remember, they got Tariq Woolen as well. Now they've already got them. They've got some quality corners there.
They do. They do.
Yeah. All right. Tampa Bay Ray, what do you think about Verse?
Like I said, Jason, I bow to you because that was a great pick, and that wasn't my pick, and so I'm not going to tell you what my pick was because your pick was so good. But yeah, in that division, get the defensive coach and get the defensive pressure, so you can go after McVay and whatever he's cooking there in Los Angeles, and you can be rushing down and owning that division. And I think it would start from inside out on that defensive line for those Seahawks. I think I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, number 17, the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. Who wants this pick?
I'll take it.
All right, JC, right there. JC Allen, let's get your intro.
Yeah, give me Quinton Mitchell.
Yeah, right.
How the hell he's sitting there right now? I have no idea, but yeah, he's off. He's gone.
Well,
easy pick.
And what do you? Why is he at this pick at this point? Is he the best corner in this draft? And what makes him so good and such a fit for the Jaguars? By the way, guys, Jaguars 26 against the pass. Yeah. You could have took Terrion Arnold possibly from Alabama, but you go with Mitchell. Why?
Mitchell's just a better prospect. Obviously, there's going to be a jump, right? And being able to make sure you can handle the NFL competition after playing in a small school. Trying to get to my freaking right now. Let's go. I can kind of. Okay. Yeah. So making the jump from small school to a big school. He played at Toledo, but he's got good size. Obviously, has really good speed. 4.33 40. This is a guy who, he plays a good balance, size, speed, athlete. He stays in phase up and down the field, which means, he's good at, kind of mirroring wide receivers in coverage in his back pedal. It doesn't panic. He make plays in the football, had 19 pass deflections last year in an interception. I know the one interception, whatever, but he's had 52 pass deflections over his career at Toledo. 6 interceptions. He can get in the backfield as well with 6.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack. He's got a great wingspan, long arms. He's got a little bit of everything that you want. There's really not too many knocks on him. Yeah, you could say maybe he's a little bit, smaller at just 6 foot. He's going to need a little bit of a fine tuning if they want him to play press man. Played mostly off man and zone coverage. Yeah. But yeah, this guy is he's a heck of a pick, and to get him here, I don't think they would have thought that they would have had a shot at him.
Big board, Mitchell to the Jaguars. Does that make sense to you, or could you have gone wide receiver there? Even though you picked up Gabe Davis, you have Christian Kirk. Could you have gone wide receiver here, possibly a Brian Davis Jr. from LSU?
I wouldn't personally. I think they have enough. I think they have enough weapons for Trevor Lawrence to at least be successful, with that offense. If I was making this pick, I would have done the same thing. It would have been Quinyon Mitchell. Yeah. The ceiling of this guy is basically like Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey was a top 5, top 10 pick. And this guy's going to be falling this far to the Jaguars. And it's almost as if they can erase that CJ Henderson memory out of their brains for the rest of their lives. They don't have to remember that anymore. They would basically, and because here's the thing, if Quinion Mitchell didn't live up to the hype, the athleticism that he has would make him at least a serviceable corner in the NFL. Whereas if you were to take Terrion Arnold or, Kool-Aid or one of those other projected first rounders, if they don't pan out, it's almost like a bust for them. Whereas if Quinion Mitchell just becomes serviceable, that's a damn good pick because the guy played at Toledo.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, can I add something real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Ray.
I watched the Bucks dismantle the Jacksonville Jaguars this last season, and with Houston now and what's going on there, it's like I'm not so much knowing the exact player that fits in that they're looking for. The Jaguars looking there to draft, but they need a leader. Whether it's a Luke Kuechly, like a linebacker, like in Carolina for years or whatever, they need a leader because that team, it's got the chosen one. They got some good pieces in place, but I saw no leadership when we beat their butts, that Raymond James. And then maybe you guys agree with me on some of their other games as well.
Absolutely. And again, 26 versus the pass. It's a passing lead. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Let's go out to the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
Mr. Roger Shue, you're on with the panel here of Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Andrew Fulbear, the big board, Mr. Jason Powers, Powers on Sports Podcast, No Quarter Given Podcast, and of course, JC Allen, who started out here on the Sports Web just 4 years ago. Who do you want to talk to?
All right, this is for Tampa Bay Ray.
Okay.
I've been thinking about you all day, and Peter, you know what I'm going to bring up.
Well, I got a problem.
I hope it's not a hot dog.
You said
No,
you started off
not
the you started off the conversation saying you thought about Tampa Bay Ray all day long. So
yes,
I don't even know where
I've
we
been
go
waiting
from
for
here.
this.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I can
Jesus.
picture Tampa Bay Ray going at number 26 in the NFL draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select kicker.
Yeah, get out of here with that. That's nonsense.
Thank you, Roger. That was my setup.
Shut
That
up.
was my setup. Thank you, Roger.
What else,
Happy
Roger?
anniversary, bro.
All right,
Thank
happy
you, bro.
anniversary to everybody on this panel. Again, if you don't know what we're talking about, 8 years of the Sports Web and all these gentlemen, a huge part of that. I really appreciate you. Again, I get emotional about this because you guys have been big parts of it, whether it's Tampa Bay Ray and starting out on the sidewalk at Ferg's, doing shows on Saturday and Sunday for that other platform, whether it's Andrew Fulbear, where we met each other at that platform, where it's Jason Powers, Powers on Sports Podcast, coming on the Sports Web, getting callers in here, doing another podcast called The No Quarter Given, meeting you through the great TJ Reeves, whether it's JC Allen, we talk about it, starting off here and what you've done and the progression and the evolution. It's just a beautiful thing, gentlemen. It really is. With that being said, who is on the board? The Cincinnati Bengals at number 8.
They need a wide receiver.
Well, Tampa Bay Ray, do you want this pick or do you want somebody else to have it?
No, take it. I just, I posted about it tonight, and you hear the rumbles with T. Higgins and the other, and it's, it's part of that process. You got Joe Burrow; he's the dog of all dogs, but you give him that huge contract you're supposed to, and then you find there's nothing in the cupboard left to really cover everyone else's, and you're going to lose your pieces. So yeah, they got to put someone to catch. It's like back to that meme with Cincinnati whether it was offensive line and he's getting sacked throwing a football, or a wide receiver and no one to throw to.
All right,
I'll take this one before because I got to head out anyways. I got to finish tidying up my mock and a few more articles for tomorrow. So,
all right, let me give you your intro.
Yeah, with this pick, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to take the best tackle on the board, J.C. Latham.
Love it.
Wow.
And I love the pick.
Oh, yeah.
There is tempting there of, going with Brian is it Brian Thomas? Brian Thomas.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr. there because of the T. Higgins situation, which Ray absolutely mentioned there. But, why, besides the obvious, because of Burrow and his injury history there and getting injured last year, and 275 million reasons why you go with Latham from Alabama, who's quite athletic, 6'6", 360, could be possibly a right tackle. I mean, is that your thought process here, JC?
Yeah, I think, right tackle is where he started, but I think some teams see him the ability to play at left tackle or even maybe slide inside to guard. He's elite play strength, functional football movements, stays square in his movements and, overmatches his opponents. I think he's, you can play right tackle. You can bump him into guard. You could do so many different things with him. I don't think he's necessarily a right tackle only. I think that's probably where he starts, but even like, Tristan Wirfs was a right tackle only. I think he's got the athleticism, the size, and the ability to potentially move over to the left tackle if they need him to at some point. I did play left tackle in high school. Obviously didn't play it all in college, but yeah. So, I mean, it's like riding a bike, right? If they need to move over left tackle, you don't forget how to ride a bike. You don't forget how to play one side or the other. So I
Hey,
think
JC.
he's
One,
JC.
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I just wanted to ask JC straight up, from a guy who's in the room, our guy, of course, Sports Illustrated, JC Allen, and seeing this Buccaneers team, and you're not throwing anyone under the bus. You're not trying to propose anybody. Is the offensive line really a need that requires that extra step, or isn't there still, a possibility, and then you see the pieces in place that this offensive line is still gelling if they just add the right piece at one specific position?
Listen, to me, offensive line in the first round is somewhere I don't want to go if I'm the Bucs. Jason Ladd has shown a propensity of drafting guys in the second, the third round, whether it's Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, Alex Kappa, Robert Hainsey, love him or hate him, Luke Gedeke, Cody Moak. I mean, the list goes on of guys that more hits than misses in that second and third round level for him for offensive line. This is a very deep draft where you can get a guard, which I think is their biggest need on the offensive line. You can get a guard at number 57, whether it's Christian Haynes or Dominic Puny. You can get a guard at 89, whether that's Christian Mahogany, Mason McCormick, or, a guy like Cooper Beebe. You can get a center in the fourth round in a Tanner Bordolini, or later a developmental guy in a Dylan McMahon or one of these guys, Andrew Monk from Duke, Jacob Monk from Duke. If they move back, Zach Frazier in the second round, I think holds more value than a Jackson Powers Johnson in the first round, because you can accumulate picks, right? You move back early second round, you're picking up a third, you're picking up a fifth. Remember, Jason Light and the Bucs don't have a pick from 125 to 220. He's not sitting there for 95 picks.
Hey, JC.
I will bet money that he fills that gap. So I think you have better opportunity to grab a guy later in the draft to fill that hole at guard. Now, if they are going to go offensive line, and let's say that Jackson Powers Johnson and Barton
the other guy
are right there. Barton is my guy simply for the fact that he can play guard and center. So if you wanted to double dip at the position, you could say, okay, we have Barton, or in the third, fourth round. Okay, there's a guard we like here. We can Barton, you're playing center. Oh, there's a center like here. Okay, Barton, you're playing guard. You're going to effectively upgrade two spots at once. A lot of people are like, well, just get a center. Just take Jackson Powers Johnson and move Hainsey to guard. We don't know what Hainsey looks like at guard.
Yes.
And here's what I'll say too, guys, to JC's point. Also, with the June cuts, they'll be after the draft. There'll be some guys that get cut for salary cap reasons, and usually those are guards and centers. So there'll be somebody on the free agent market that you could be able to bring in, a veteran guy, a plug and play kind of a 1 year solution, kind of and a better
Just like
upgrade than a guy
year.
like Matt Filer.
All right, and there are some guys out there who've already been cut too as centers that are still lingering there. You brought Bredesen in, who can compete at center and guard. Suopita, who can compete at both. For me, I'm looking at guard as the bigger need. I think you can roll with Hainsey and have a reliable guy in Ben Bredesen to back him up. For me, give me guard, but just not in the first round.
All right, JC, I know you got to get out of here, so go in and promote yourself here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I want to thank you guys for having me on. I mean, again, this is where I got my start right here, is the Sports Web. Thank you for all the support throughout all the years here. You can find all my stuff right there, JC Allen, NFL. Check out all my work there. I just finished up 175 player profiles, not the entire draft, but really just more so for and I'm going to send the link over to Peter so he can drop it in there if you guys want to check it out. He'll drop the safeties, and then if you scroll to the bottom, it's got every single one of them that you can kind of just browse through and look at. But these aren't the entire group. Like I said, I don't have some of these guys on who aren't going to be available when the Bucs pick. These are specifically Bucs picks, guys who could, I think, fit the system. And each one of these, I have my Bucs best fits in round 1 to 2, around 3 to 4, and round 5 to 7. So check those all out. I'll have my mock draft, my final mock draft coming out tomorrow morning. That's why I got to jet because I got to go work on that. I'll have my kind of big board for my best bets as well. So all my best fits, rather, will all be in one spot, specific spot for you guys to just kind of look back and say, how did I do? How did you do? I will say one thing, and I didn't notice it till earlier on my podcast with Bucks Game Day. Here, the Cannons just launched that tonight. So go check that out after you're done watching the Sports Web over on Bucks Game Day. I only have one guy that has a first-round grade in my best fits. The rest of them are all second round guys. Like I said, I think the value there, and I put this on my Twitter earlier, I really feel like gut feeling the Bucks are going to trade out of 26, whether that's to move back into the first round or move into the second round, early second round. I just think that's where the best value is for the Bucks team. Unless one of these edge rusher falls or a guy like Johnny Newton falls, I feel like that's the best value for the Bucks in this draft. So it's going to be interesting. My final mock won't have any trades, but it will have a caveat trade type deal where I just reiterate, I do think the Bucks trade down from here. Follow me on Twitter. Follow us over at Bucks Game Day Sports Illustrated. Follow me on the Pirate Parlay podcast. Just had Luke Easterling on today talking about his mock and player prospects. Had Dane Brugler on, Trevor Sikkema, great guest players. Go back and watch some of the old player interviews and stuff like that. So I'm all over the place. And as always, that Twitter's your one-stop shop for anything Bucks. So
all right, good stuff. JC Allen, one of the busiest men in the Tampa Bay area, covering your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the draft.
Good to see you, buddy.
And 75 profiles, my friend.
75.
We will see you we'll see you soon here on the Evolution. All right.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
All right, there we go. We got the three. I guess Ray disappeared into the night there with the battery and the Wi-Fi situation, so we will handle it from here. Open phone lines if you want to get in on some of these picks. If you want to make a pick, if you get it right, I'll buy you lunch. I'm not kidding. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The Rams are on the clock. Who wants this one? Mr. Full Bear himself, the big board. All right, here's your intro.
I'll do the same thing as JC because I gotta get out of here as well. The Los Angeles Rams at 19 select. Sorry, Buccaneer fans. Johnny Newton. From Illinois.
Yep.
And why did you make this selection, big board?
So Johnny Newton, a lot of analysts keep talking about the blue chip prospects of this draft and how there's not as many defensive ones as we think that there is this year. There is a very big caveat to that there are teams that would be trading up in this draft for this guy if he was still there at, say, 10 or 11, if he was not injured last year. Everyone is just forgetting what the tape is. He is a shut-down, run-stopping, destroy the opponent's offensive line type of guy, and they just lost that with Aaron Donald in the retirement. It seems too good to be true that he would even be there. Byron Murphy is probably another person that they would obviously be thinking here. But Johnny Newton's ability to just be explosive, same with what we were talking about with Quinion Mitchell, it's the ceiling. If his injury is 100% healed, there's no chance of aggravating it or anything too crazy like that. He could be essentially a plug and play replacement for Aaron Donald. He may not obviously get the same type of, effectiveness that Aaron Donald gave you for the last couple of years, but he's definitely going to be better than some of the other people that you can go out and get in free agency or at the tail end of this draft for you.
Jason, your thoughts on that pick? Newton has definitely come up draft boards here. Yeah. You look at him; he's coming off a Jones fracture, though. That's kind of the red flag with the foot. You can re-injure that, but highly explosive player. A lot of people say, Kalijah Cansey. Think of that. People compared Cansey to Aaron Donald, and consequently, Newton now filling that need with Donald retiring. What do you think?
I don't have a problem with it at all. I think it's a good pick. They've been undersized on the defensive line for a few years now, and with Donald gone now, they need somebody in there that can plug and play. And if he can stay healthy, obviously you never know with big guys and foot injuries. But I mean, if the guy can be healthy, I think he's exactly what they need. He fits the need. He's a highly ranked player, and if you hit here, it could be a home run. At 20,
Yeah.
he scored 19 or 20. That's a hell of a value.
It is hell of a value. You could also go Murphy, second there from Texas, 6'1", 308. First step quickness off the charts, 5 sacks last year. Why not go with Murphy? What's the advantage, in your opinion, Big Board, Newton over Murphy?
The explosiveness. So Byron Murphy is kind of not respectively, of course, the one-hit wonder of Texas last year. I think he should have stayed a little bit, because then he could probably have given himself a little bit more of a draft stock, and especially a quite depleted draft, which is starting to look like for next year. But I just think the Rams, being in LA, they just lost their defensive tackle. Johnny Newton kind of talks in a weird way, a mixture of Vince Wilfork and Warren Sapp, where Warren Sapp was very like in your face and get the hell out of mine. But Vince also had that very like cuddly and funny and, let's everyone in the locker room kind of thing. And that's what I think the Rams want to keep around them as well. And Johnny Newton would bring that.
All right, good stuff, Big Board. I want to read this comment because this definitely means a lot to me. I can't forget Sean, the Sports Don, of course, one of the founding fathers of this show, and most importantly, Rich from Clearwater. My father, and Roger Shue says, I love you, JC, Ray, Greek, Leo, all the webheads. Absolutely. Full Bear, go ahead and promote yourself here. The Big Board right up there in Canada. Promote yourself here on The Evolution, my friend.
All my big boards, all my whiteboards. I'm going to be on live tomorrow on North Sports Dynasty for the pre-draft show, just to kind of give a update on some of the stuff that's going on, a thing to look at for next season. Then I'll probably pop on with the NFL edition guys for a little bit. And then tomorrow I'm going to be covering rounds 2 and 3, doing a little bit more of a fantasy football dynasty show on that. Because that's where your running backs and such will probably start falling off the board. And just to kind of clear up some of the stuff that's going on around the draft, some of the rumors, some of the trades, and all that other kind of fun stuff. You can find me in North Sports Dynasty anywhere that you see the logo. I'm live every Friday night. Off season a little bit different. Working on a new show, obviously the Nostalgia Show, where it's all TV, movies, and everything like that from, the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and basically just a nice, talk of all the stuff that we, grew up listening to and watching, and how it basically created all of us and what we are today. And so, just keep an eye out for all the different shows that we got going on. Happy anniversary to you. And thank you for the shout out earlier. And, much love to you, and we'll see you and the rest of the guys later.
All right, good stuff. Andrew Full Bear, the Big Board up in the great north there in Canada. Appreciate the time here on the Sports Web. All right, boss?
Always, buddy. Thank you very much. Jason, you have yourself a good night.
Nice meeting you, Andrew. Good luck, man.
You as well.
Absolutely. We'll get you back on, talk some Bucks football. Big time Bucks fan right there. Let's come back to the two. My tag team partner of the world, Mr. Jason Powers. We're expecting the legend Leo Haggerty to come on, maybe Mark Mancini doing the Pittsburgh pick, but that is who's on the board. Do you want this one, or shall I take it?
We got Pittsburgh at 20. I'm going to take. How about I'm going to take this one?
All right.
This one's going to hurt the Bucks' feelings a little bit.
All right, hold on. You're going to kill me here, but go ahead.
Pittsburgh has been known over the years. They've had some big guys in the middle. Mike Webster, Marquise Pouncey. I'm going to give Pittsburgh Jackson, Powers, Johnson, the center, to fortify that middle, that offensive line for Pittsburgh at number 20.
I love this pick. I think there are some medical red flags with
him or Barton. I'll say this: him or Barton is the pick. I think one of those two guys is going to be the pick for Pittsburgh.
Well, look, that's how you build. That's how you protect your quarterback, right?
Yep.
So Russell Wilson is coming, over here in a 1-year contract. You're not sure about Justin Fields. You got to get better, not only with that run game, but also you got to get better with that passing game and protection. To me, he is the best center in this draft. Powers Johnson, he does have some medical red flags, possible more concussions than has been reported, hip and hamstring going out in the Senior Bowl. But obviously the attitude, he definitely seems like a Pittsburgh Steeler. And speaking of the Pittsburgh Steelers, let me go out to this guy right here, former XPW announcer covering the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Jason Powers just made that pick for you. Jackson Powers Johnson, the center out of Oregon. What do you think of that selection? Welcome to the Evolution.
Oh, it's the show that's sweeping on Wednesdays, man. I'm so blessed to be part of it, and you and Jason here. And yeah, that makes sense. The Steelers got to shore up that offensive line. I mean, you saw there in the offseason picking up Russell Wilson. I'm predicting he'll be the comeback player of the year. Justin Fields. They're not picking up options here. They're just letting them play out the year. You got to pay to play in Pittsburgh. And that's the scenario there. If they can bring in another wide receiver there, that Wilson can have a target. I'm hoping T. Higgins can get traded there. I doubt it if that happens.
They ain't ever trade him in division.
Yeah,
no, they ain't doing that. Come on, Mark.
Well, I kind of know that, but maybe something will happen. I do like the Jefferson. That rumor has been going in Pittsburgh for quite a while. Jefferson from Minnesota to Pittsburgh, but I will tell you, man. McCarthy will come out to LA. I don't know if it's with the Chargers or the Rams, but I can feel McCarthy coming out to Los Angeles.
Wow. Well, let me give a disclaimer here. Mr. Mark Mancini is single-handedly the worst handicapper out there. From the best handicapper of Harry the Greek to the worst. Yeah, McCarthy. They had him picked by the Raiders tonight, with Harry making a trade with the Bears, trading all the way down to 13 there. Having the Raiders take McCarthy. There's rumors that McCarthy could go from 2 to the Commanders, if you believe that, possibly to the Patriots, maybe to the Giants. I mean, Mark, what do you see in McCarthy? Why is it so convoluted, if you will, with going from 2 to possibly 20?
Well, I think Harbaugh, got the best out of him at Michigan. I think, he fits that scheme. Harbaugh knows him inside and out. He's going to change the whole scheme in Los Angeles with the Chargers. He's kind of like one of those run and gun type of guys. So I think McCarthy would fit there. You brought up some other interesting points. I think it's going to be 2 quarterbacks. And then the interesting thing, I think, like Danielle Orsino said, my partner in crime on one of the shows, she was saying that the draft could start at number 3 with the New England Patriots.
Yes.
And I think it starts at number 2, because I'm not sure if Jaden Daniels, guys, I think he should be the pick at number 2, but just knowing the Commanders and hearing some of the rumors, because they like that winning pedigree from McCarthy. You look at his numbers, very consistent, touchdown to interception ratio. He's got the athleticism. He can make the throws. You just haven't seen enough because Michigan depends so much on the running game. Your thoughts, Mr. Jason Powers there, making the pick for Jackson Powers Johnson to Pittsburgh, which I love at the end of the day. But your thoughts on McCarthy as a quarterback in the National Football League?
We just don't. The one thing we don't know enough about is we've not seen him have to throw the ball 35, 40 times in multiple games at Michigan. They had the type of scheme where they were dominating people with the running game. They were out physicaling people. So we don't know. We think he can do it. He's got the traits to do it. And he's shown some flashes, but can he throw the ball 35, 40 times? A couple of advantages he has. He's only 20 years old, so he's going to have time. There's not a massive run. I mean, he's a pretty smart kid from all indications. I don't think he's going to Washington. I think like Mark said, that the intrigue starts at number 3 with New England. Do they take him, or do they trade out and let somebody else come take him? I think Minnesota would be a good spot for him with O'Connell there. He does have mobility. He's sneaky athletic. He's much more athletic than people think. He can run. This guy can run. He can run. He can throw the ball. He's got the part. And say what you want. Harbaugh has been saying it for 2-3 months now. He thinks this guy's going to be a big time NFL player. So I mean, again, I know part of it's him hyping up his own guy, but usually Harbaugh has been right. Remember Colin Kaepernick? Nobody ever heard of him. Who picked him? Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh, you're exactly right. Go ahead, Mark.
And the other thing, the interesting thing here is, see, we've watched football guys over the years. We've seen the Marinos, we've seen the Elways carry the clipboard for a year, learn the whole system. It's been a Russian gun type of thing, 15-minute car chases in Chicago and the Jets. They draft quarterbacks, they throw them in after 3 games, they tank the season, and they're ready for drafting another quarterback. Only Green Bay has followed the pedigree of, the 70s, where you hold the clipboard with love, and that's the thing. The other big thing here is,
and by the way, real quick, the other team that did that and it's turned into a home run of all home runs, Patrick Mahomes. He sat for a year.
Here's another one. And not only that, and I've always said this with, in your neck of the woods, Peter, you need that big mobile quarterback. And I've always liked Trevor Lawrence, 6'4", 2-something, oversee the defenses. That's where Daniels can fit in Washington. The attitude might have to change a little. He got a little irked at bringing 2 other guys in there on his meeting. And then the other thing, as much as I like Caleb Williams, I'm wondering if he's gone Hollywood too much. He's got an entourage. Will that be enough to offset, everything in Chicago? Because Chicago needs somebody to step up in that city. They haven't seen that since Jim McMahon.
Well, let me ask you this, Jason. Much has been made about Williams, nail polish, hugging his mom, showing emotion. And then there was a scout that came out this week on the Pablo Torre podcast, comparing him to Prince and saying he's just a weird guy. Comparing him to Prince. Prince was a weird guy, but he was also a genius. So does it work out for the Bears? You got the best opportunity. Is this guy a bust? Do you think he has success right away? Because he's going to have to hit the ground running, especially with this Bears team and what Ryan Poles has done to put the weapons around him, right?
There's no chance they don't draft Caleb Williams because remember, they passed on Deshaun Watson. They passed on Patrick Mahomes. They're taking this guy, even if he's not John Elway. Again, the one thing he has to do, he has to play in more structure. And one thing he did too much at USC was too much playground, too much street yard run around for 5 seconds and then throw a completion. In the NFL, you got to drop back 3 or 5 steps, hit the layups, hit the 8-yard slants. There's going to be times in the game that he's going to be able to use his athleticism to make plays, and that's going to be great. But he's got to play within some structure. You can't play wild and crazy the entire game, or you'll get killed and you'll just lose the respect of the teammates. You got to play within the scheme. I think he'll be a good player. Again, we have to give it 3 years till we can tell any of these guys if they're going to be good or not. 2 to 3 years is typically the time frame, if you're being fair and objective, that you can make a true evaluation of these guys. But he's going to have weapons that other guys aren't going to have. He's going to have a good running back. He's going to have DJ Moore, good tight end. They've surrounded him with good weapons to come out of the gate to be productive.
How many quarterbacks, Mark? Actually, I'll go back to Jason really quick. Does any of the off-the-field stuff concern you about Williams, and should it be a concern to the Bears and other scouts?
I mean, again, is every guy going to be buttoned up to the T and have no issue? Every guy has something. Again, I think once he gets into Chicago, once he gets under contract, and once he becomes a professional, some of that stuff will go away. I think some of that stuff is him living in Los Angeles for the last couple of years, being young, being the first NIL superstar that we've all kind of grown up with. So I think that'll settle down once he gets into an organization. Chicago is a blue collar kind of town. He'll figure it out. I think you'll see much of that stuff go away.
Mark, have any concerns about the off the field stuff? And do you think he has success right away with the Bears? Because they around him, they put the weapons around him. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet. They're building the offensive line according to this draft. I think they may do that tomorrow night with possibly trading down. In your opinion, does this quarterback have success right away for the Bears?
Well, you have to have his success at USC to prosper. He had success there under Lincoln Riley builds quarterbacks. We saw that with his cachet of guys with Baker Mayfield and everybody. So I think, he'll succeed in Chicago, but it's a division now where, it's a black and blue division. They'll beat up on you. The Lions will send guys at you. Yeah. And Jason's right. I mean, you got to hit the slants. You got to be able to hit these guys. The question here is, I've seen this song and dance in Chicago for quite a few years, since their last Super Bowl with Rex Grossman getting them in there. But ever since then, it's been Mitch Trubinsky, and we're going to give him the keys of the city. We're going to give this guy the keys of the city. We saw the guy that came out of Denver that was going to take over the city, and I get a brain
Cutler.
Yeah, Cutler.
Cutler was another one. They were giving him the keys, and he had an arm too.
Yeah, he had an arm, but he depended on it too much, and he tried to do too much with it, interceptions and stupid decisions, not only on the field but off the field also. Some attitude problems.
You got to look at it. You're not taking a shot at Harry the Greek because I love him, but when I look at the Bears organization, it's kind of like a clown show. It's been a clown show for quite a few years. I'm not being biased to the fact that my Steelers, and when you look at some of these other organizations, they bring in a guy and they transform to that city and they transform to that team. Otherwise, they're showing the door, and then they got 1 foot out of the league. So we'll find out. I like the kid.
Okay.
But I think the other kid is it's almost 1A and 1B there, right? Not too close. Is Jason Daniels, because he's an SEC guy, and those SEC guys, they get into the pros. They can transfer. Now Mac Jones has slipped a little, but maybe he wanted a little too much in New England. Who knows?
Let me talk to you. We're on with Mark Mancini, former XPW announcer, covers the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got Powers on Sports Podcast. Mr. Jason Powers, my tag team partner of the world. I'm your host, Peter Blake, on the Sports Web, the mock draft edition for the fans and also celebrities here of the show. Happy 8-year anniversary to the Evolution. Mark, you're a major part of that. Also, what's the sense in Pittsburgh? Are they good with Russell Wilson being the starting quarterback, or do you think you're going to see Justin Fields? Because I continue to tease Harry about this, and that, if Fields gets some starting time and starts more than Russell Wilson, I think it's like 50 or 60% of the snaps, then that 6th-round pick turns into a 4th. And I just don't see the Steelers doing that. I think they're going to go with Russell Wilson. What's the sense there in Pittsburgh?
Well, I think they pushed all their chips to the center of the table. I think when you look at Russell Wilson, I'm calling him the comeback player of the year. When I looked at the Denver Broncos organization, too many distractions, too many coaches coming in and out, just couldn't fit in the city. And let's face it, guys, Denver hasn't been relevant since Manning. I mean, look at the quarterbacks that have gone through there.
Right.
And when you look at it, it was a structured franchise when you had Elway and Morton and Reeves there and everybody, and Carl Mecklenburg and everybody, but it fell off the cliff. So I think in Pittsburgh, you can concentrate on football there. There's no outside distractions. You're not running to the Rocky Mountains every other day. I think when you look at Justin Fields in Chicago, here's another guy that he can concentrate on football. They've made it simple for him as well. We just want you to come in, get acclimated to the city, and you don't have to worry about the outside distractions of running up to the Sears Tower and maybe hanging by the lake somehow. But I think Pittsburgh, every guy they bring into Pittsburgh, and we saw, and you can look at their defensive guy they brought in from Miami there. Fitzpatrick had outside distractions. He didn't want to be in Miami. Comes to Pittsburgh, and man, he's a household name.
And that's just a true sign of a great franchise. At the end of the day, they know what they're doing, right? Jason Powers, I mean, you said it best. You go with the line. You go with the interior line. Why? Because that's how you build your football team. You build it with the guts, not only the offensive line, but defensive line. And that's what Pittsburgh has done traditionally.
And they don't want Russell Wilson and Justin Fields throwing the ball 35 to 40 times a game either.
Right. I mean, because you're seeing the slip with, Wilson not being necessarily the same quarterback, and Justin Fields, you're not sure, right. Flashes of brilliance, but that's not going to get you very far. And you're exactly right. You take the pressure off of your quarterback by building an offensive line and a running game around them. Let's see here. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. If there is no edge or interior offensive line at 26, I believe the Bucs trade down or a cornerback. Agree with that, Jason?
I do. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Like JC makes a good point. You could probably get the same level of player at 35 as you could at 26. So, if the guy you love's not there, I don't have a problem trading down.
All right.
I think
and you're going to save some money on the salary cap because you're going to be paying a 2nd-round pick as opposed to a 1st-round pick. So you're going to save a couple dollars there.
Good point.
I think the biggest thing, guys, is, when you look at, and I'll make one quick point, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they don't rebuild, they retool. Yep. And you see it, the consistent pattern over the years. Another team you got to look out for, guys, is the Rams. The Rams are supposed to win 3-4 games, and look what they've done. I mean, they went out there, got a safety out of Buffalo. They've brought in Garoppolo, and who knows what they'll probably end up doing in the draft. But the interesting one, in my point, guys, is what Buffalo is going to do with the 28th pick, pretty much. They need a wide receiver there.
And there'll be a guy there. There'll be a guy there to get.
I got a name. Either Thomas Jr. from LSU, if he's on the board, which it's likely, but I don't know. With the speed, you're hearing, Tyreek Hill, and you're also hearing Deebo Samuel. If he's a mix of that with speed and physicality, I doubt he's on the board. But I give you another one here, Jason Powers, Keon Coleman.
Or maybe even Xavier Worthy out of Texas who can run.
Yeah.
There's going to be a wide receiver for Buffalo to pick if they want a wide receiver at 28. There'll be a quality guy that they can pick.
All right, great stuff, guys. We're at 3 hours right now. We'll get to the Bucks pick in just a little bit. Kool-Aid, says Christopher Cole. Kool-Aid McKestry. Jason, what do you think of him at 26 for the Bucks?
Again, a little bit of an injury history. He didn't have a great year last year. I think if Arnold's there, I would take Arnold before I would take McKistry.
Great.
But we'll see. We'll see. Again, there'll be some DB options. I mean, again, if you don't love one of those guys, trade down. You can probably get about the same guy either at the end of the first round or top of the second. Mark
Mancini, what do you say? Kool-Aid? You're a Kool-Aid man?
Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, I really do. I mean, the other one I'm interested in, you don't hear a lot of chatter about this guy, is Rattler. Where is he going? I mean,
Jason knows about this because we talked about this all here and on one of these podcasts. I mean, at the time, Rattler was highly rated. He was looking at being possibly a first or second round pick because he is so inconsistent, Jason. That's the reason why he's dropped. Where do you see him going? Is it third, fourth round? And why has he dropped off so much?
He'll be a fourth round guy. He just hasn't shown the consistency. To do it. I mean, he's got some physical ability and all that, but he's thrown a lot of interceptions, turned the ball over a lot. We don't know what his mentally, does he pick up offenses great? We don't know that. He'll be a fourth round guy. He'll be a third day guy. I think I would say the fourth round would be where he would go. Developmental round.
Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's The Evolution. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Powers on Sports Podcast, my tag team partner of the world, Mr. Jason Powers, and, of course, former XPW announcer talking about turnbuckle talk, Mr. Mark Mancini, the madman himself. Let's go out to David here. I got a feeling JJ is going to be a bust. There's only been two quarterbacks that I know that won a national championship and a Super Bowl. That's Joe Namath and Joe Montana. Is he correct about that?
No,
he's not correct. I don't think Joe Montana won a national title at Notre Dame.
No, he didn't win. I don't think he won a national title at Notre Dame either. Who won a national title in a Super Bowl? I'm trying to think right now.
I think it was it Joe Theismann? Was it Joe Theismann?
It might have been, maybe, but that could have been.
I don't think
that's a good question about the Super Bowl, and there's been a couple there. I'd have to go.
But you know what, JJ McCarthy. See what these guys don't understand, and you're right. He can't throw 35 to 40 times a game, but I like it. I like this guy's attitude. He's got great character and everything. Yeah. He's grounded. I think he has to get into a system, whether it's like a New England type, something like that, where they can let him flourish and focus on his strengths and let the weaknesses play out.
Well, I think it goes back to what
he needs a really good quarterback, offensive-minded guy. Kevin O'Connell's. That's why he's linked to Minnesota, because he's such a There's talk about him, maybe the Giants with Dayball because that he developed Josh Allen, but we'll see.
All right, I'm doing some producing right now. I don't know if you guys can look it up, but look that up because he says it's on the World Wide Web that it was those two quarterbacks. So we'll see. Paul says chances that the Bucks are taking a wide receiver.
Not in the first round. Not in the first round.
Even if Brian Thomas Jr. is on the board, I mean, look, you got Mike Evans. He's getting up there in age. And Chris Godwin is coming into a free agency year, and the value there at 26 with his speed. Jason, is there a possibility they could go with the wide receiver there?
Nah, I don't think so. Because I think you could, if you really want a wide receiver, you could trade down to the top of the second and take Keon Coleman, probably.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: the Falcons are so loaded; they don't need wide receivers.
Well,
that
that's
team
the thing.
is going to be dangerous, man. Keep your eyes on the Falcons. I was a year out on those guys, but if they had just got Belichick in there, I know he wanted control, and maybe Arthur Blank and. I don't understand that whole thing, why he didn't pick him, but keep your eyes on the Falcons, man. Kirk Cousins is consistent every year.
Yep. You got to block for him because he's coming off an injury. Let's go out to the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
Mr. Roger Shue, what do you got to say here on the Evolution? Yes.
Real quick, I have a question for Mr. Mancini while he's on the air.
Okay.
What do you think about the end of Dynamite tonight where the Young Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry left Tony Khan laying in the ring after a brutal attack.
Wow. How about that? A little wrestling talk here.
Well, the young Bucks, man, that you gotta reckon with. I mean, they're a team you got to keep an eye on. And boy, if they're laying somebody out, who's going to be laid out next?
I think they're a bunch of schmucks. I think they're terrible for the wrestling business. It's a terrible shame that they ruined what they had there with CM Punk. They're absolutely the reason why that happened. Jack Perry, and I don't care if he's Luke Perry. He might as well be Luke Perry. That's his dad. Luke Perry is more entertaining, and he's dead right now than his son, Jack Perry. I'm sorry. He does nothing at all for the wrestling business. He sells nothing, no merchandise at all. To me, he's completely useless. And the Bucks, they're a bunch of punks. They are. I'm sorry.
Peter, they're your AEW World Tag Team Champions. They're the greatest tag team on the planet.
They're the great tag team in AEW. And WWE, they're a bunch of little punks. That's all they are. In politics there.
Who in WWE can compete with the Young Bucks?
Anybody can beat the Young Bucks. The New Day can beat the Young Bucks. Hey, listen, we're not talking wrestling on this show right now.
I just want to bring that up to Mr. Mark Mancini and get his opinion real quick.
All right, sorry, man. I appreciate the call.
Thank you, brother.
As always. All right, there you go. Get my all my anger up here. Let's see. Okay. I know you've got to go, Jason. I know you got to go, Mark. Mark, are you good right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Jason, you got a couple more minutes here.
Let's get through some picks.
All right. Let's get to the picks. So we'll come back to the comments in just a moment. The Miami Dolphins are on the clock. Jason, do you want to take this pick?
Sure. I'll take the pick.
All right. Here we go.
With the whatever is it, 21st pick, 22nd,
21st pick.
21st.
Yes.
I'm going to take DB Terrion Arnold, Alabama.
Love the pick here. Could be the
Replace
best.
Xavier Howard. Pair him up with Jalen Ramsey. You need some cornerbacks in that division with Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. Give me Terrion Arnold, Alabama.
I like it. He's a press man. He's definitely going to help that defense out. And you look at the division as a whole. I get it. Buffalo has lost a couple wide receivers there with the trade of Diggs and Gabe Davis, but it is a throwing league here, Mark. This makes lots of sense to go with Terrion Arnold for the Miami Dolphins, right?
I think it is. I mean, but then you got to look at the Miami Dolphins, Jason and Peter, and they kind of remind me of the UCLA Bruins out here. I mean, they'll start out like a bat out of hell. They'll go 3-0, 4-1, 7-2, 7-3. Seems like right after Thanksgiving, the wheels start to come off that cart. I don't know if you got to limit their season instead of playing a 17-game season or something, but you got to limit it. But this is a team that kind of falls apart. They run out of gas at the end. I don't know if they need a little more potassium down there in Florida, maybe a cargo full of bananas or something to keep them going. But I'm not, this Dolphin team, everybody seems to get on board every year. And every time around Thanksgiving, they slip into the playoffs or something. And, it's crickets after that. I don't know, guys.
Well, they're a finesse team. They're a finesse team, Jason and Mark, and they've shown that. And, their offensive line isn't great. They don't protect their quarterback. You could have gone Graham Barton here.
Another team that hasn't been relevant since Dan Marino as far as quarterbacking goes, correct?
Well, not only quarterbacking, but they're trying to find that quarterback. And
Tua's doing pretty well now. Come on now.
Yeah.
Tua's doing okay.
I'm going back to when
if we had Tua in Tampa, we'd be loving life.
But I was going back to when they had Clayton and Duper, and I'm trying to figure out where those guys are.
All right, guys.
It's called Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Waddle's
what it's called.
All right, guys, we got a confirmation on this. Joe Namath did win a national championship with Alabama in 64, the Jets in 69. Joe Montana did win a national championship in 77. Which
he wasn't the starter, I don't think, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he was the starter, and then the 49ers 81, 84, 88, and 89. So there you go. There you go. I did not know that. Thank you, David, for correcting us.
Good job.
Right there. All right. So you go with Terrion Arnold. All right. 22. The Philadelphia Eagles are up. I'm going to go ahead and take this pick. Here we go. At the number 22 selection, the Philadelphia Eagles select Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And guys, look, the Philadelphia Eagles, you could have gone with center here, but Jackson Powers Johnson is off the board. They always focus on the trenches. They're trying to protect Jalen Hurts. Guyton out of Oklahoma, Lane Johnson out of Oklahoma, and then furthermore, they're working out together. This seems like a fit to me. Jason, what do you say?
No, you're right. They do. They invest a lot of resources in the trenches, and that's why they've been very good the last 7, 8, 10 years. Offensive line's been really good. Defensive line's been good. Good pick. No problems.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark Mancini, Madman. You like Guyton there at with the Eagles?
I like him, and I think this is a swan song for Sirianni this year. He's got to do something. I mean, you gotta do something this year. I think between him and that other guy, DeBoll, in that division with the Giants, I think their heads are on the platter here. They gotta. These two teams have to do something this year, and we'll find out. The NFC is pretty wide open. You got a select few of teams. That AFC is going to be another dogfight this year, man. There's 8 to 10 teams over there that can battle it out representing the AFC.
And Buffalo may have been taking a step back, although they may improve with Diggs and his attitude out of there, losing Gabe Davis. But you're exactly right. You still have the Kansas City Chiefs going for 3 in a row. It's certainly possible anytime you have Patrick Mahomes. But, going back to Philly, you're exactly right. Nick Sirianni, the start that they have over the 10-0 last year, and they stumble in and get absolutely throttled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got to love that. 23, the Minnesota Vikings are on the board. Jason, do you want to take this pick?
Sure, I'll take this one.
All right, here we go. Here's your intro.
23rd pick, Minnesota. I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the ball. They've lost some. They need some defensive line help. They lost Daniil Hunter in free agency to the Houston Texans. And in a similar fashion, we're going a little bit of a risk here, but we're going to take Latu out of UCLA.
You son of a gun. I should have taken this pick because I wanted this for Tampa Bay. You're exactly right. This is I could have gone with Murphy here, the defensive tackle out of Texas. I would have gone with that. But you're absolutely make a lot of sense here, Jason. 23.5 sacks the last 2 years. Of course, the big-time concern here is the fact that he got the Peyton Manning surgery with his neck. He was out of football for 2.5 years. What did he do to get back? Become a rugby player. So it definitely makes sense with the loss of Hunter here, right, Mark?
No, it definitely does. And he's a good – that would be a heck of a steal right there in Minnesota. They did definitely – I mean, what happened to the days of the purple people eaters on that defense where they just come at you? And the Vikings. Jason's right. They got to get back to that, and
they got enough offense. They got enough offense. They need some defense.
They got an offense there. They just need to shore up that defense.
Well, we'll see about who the quarterback is because that's a big time question. Could be J.J. McCarthy tomorrow night. We'll find out because they lost.
It won't be Teddy Bridgewater, that's for sure.
No, it won't be Teddy Bridgewater and whoever else there they have. All right, 24.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Oh, my God. If Sam Darnold's your quarterback.
He's the bridge. It'll be McCarthy if McCarthy's there, but if not, it'll probably be Sam Darnold to start the year.
They had Penix Jr. come off the board tonight. So Penix Jr.
Oh, is that who Minnesota took earlier? Well, then he'll be the starter. Yes.
Yeah, if Penix Jr. went to the Minnesota Vikings, that would definitely work.
Be the starter.
All right. So how about those Cowboys? They're on the board at 24. Jason, you want to take this? Mark, you want to take this pick?
Let Mark take it. Go ahead, Mark.
I'll take this pick and I'll throw one out there. I think.
Hold on. Let me get you the intro.
Okay.
All right, Mark.
With the 24th pick, the Cowboys, I think what's happening in Dallas is delusions of grandeur with Jerry Jones there. He doesn't know what's up. They don't know what they have. I think a sensible pick here, and I know a lot of people, and we brought it up earlier. I think Spencer Rattler would be a good pickup in this situation because, we don't know what the situation is with Dak Prescott down the line, what the whole is, charges are going to be on that one. We don't know, I think the Cowboys, I don't know. I like Rattler in Dallas.
If you take Rattler here, I'm going to say this. Hey, listen, if they take a quarterback, if Jerry Jones and the brain trust there for the Dallas Cowboys take a quarterback
in the first round,
it's Spencer Rattler. Nah, I'm not good with that. I'm going to substitute here, Mark, for you. I'm going to go with Amarius Mims out of Georgia. They lost Tyron
Taylor Smith, Tyron Smith,
on the left tackle spot. This
Yep.
kid is very athletic. You know, it's a question: can he play left tackle? Can he play right tackle? It's a good problem to have.
Yep, I
You need
agree.
to protect your investment in Dak Prescott. I get it. He's not a $60 million quarterback, although he may get that contract. I am not drafting Spencer Rattler. Jason.
Well, how long can you stick with Dak Prescott to get you to the promised land as well?
Well, Jason, listen, they got Trey Lance in the background, so if Dak starts to mess
At least
up,
one more year, they're going to stick around with Dak.
At least Jason, Spencer
offensive line. They need help in the trenches. Maybe to me, that's where they need to go is offensive line.
Yeah, I cannot. Let's see.
Spencer Rattler in the third round, Mark. I couldn't serious. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
No, I'm being serious. If you want to take a guy like him in the third round, I'd have no problem with that.
All right. MH says Mims is too tall. I mean,
too tall.
I mean, is that a problem at this point for being left or right?
Is he Ed Too Tall Jones?
By the way, Ed Too Tall Jones, was he too tall? I'm just saying. It worked out pretty good for him. All right, let's go to the Green Bay Packers. Wow. Green Bay sucks. Jason, you want to take this pick?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
25th pick, Green Bay Packers. We're going to give Green Bay it depends. Again, I'd have to look and see who may. I'm going to say either Graham Barton, the center out of Duke, or I'm going to go DB. I'm going to go DB McKinstry.
And I like the picks, both of them. You
One of those two.
I would go. Well, make your selection, general manager. Who do you want? You want Barton, who's on the board, or Kool-Aid? Who do you like? Are you a Kool-Aid guy or Graham Barton?
Give me for safety and conservative. Give me Barton at center guard.
I like it. I like it a lot. A very athletic player, very versatile. That's why the Bucs were mentioned at 26. Barton, offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers. You got to protect your investment in Jordan Love.
No, that makes sense.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
And I could see Green Bay trading out here. I could definitely see a trade out here if somebody at the bottom of the first wanted to move up, somebody they like to, maybe if somebody behind, maybe a team like Buffalo might want to trade up here to get a wide receiver. Somebody like that. I could see somebody trading into this spot and Green Bay trading out.
All right. 26 is coming up. I'm going to take this pick.
You do it, Peter Blake.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. With the 26th pick in the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select edge rusher from Penn State, Chop Robinson, right there.
He's good.
He is good. I could have gone with Kool-Aid. He could have gone with Nate Wiggins. He could have gone with a wide receiver. But at the end of the day, I feel like, Chop, it's a need. He has a high ceiling, Jason. I know the production isn't there, but I got to go with
I worry about is this JTS 2.0
syndrome. Yeah.
You know,
not a lot of production.
Yeah.
Not a lot of.
It reminds me of Patrick Swilling. Remember Swilling? New Orleans?
Yeah. Well, if he turns into Pat Swilling, that'd be a hell of a pick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if he's anything like that, and he ran a 4.46. So, and I get it, we make too much of it, but he's very athletic. You've got George Edwards there. I've got to make the comparison. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. He coached with the Cowboys. He also coached a guy by the name of Micah Parsons, who's from where? Not only his mother, but Penn State. So, for me, Todd Bowles, everybody's saying interior line. Jason Light, once again, as JC said, I've said today on the JP Peterson show, the propensity, Leo word of Jason Light, taking guys in the second or third round. You can get that value there, but Chop Robinson at 26, you got to go and you got to get him. Mark, you like the pick?
I definitely like the pick. I like the kid out of Penn State.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Marvin Harrison Jr., who's going to grab this guy?
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. went early on tonight in a surprise by Harry the Greek. He went with him with the New England Patriots. Let's talk about that. Jason, what do you think about that move? Could the Patriots take Marvin Harrison Jr. because you're not sure about the quarterbacks, or do you feel like they take a Drake May at 3, even though You just drafted Mac Jones.
Drake May guy.
Yeah. What do you think, Jason?
I don't think you take Harrison at 3 because they have so many needs, and quarterback obviously is a huge. But I mean, if you think that, again, everybody thinks he's potentially a generational guy, Hall of Famer. If you think that, then you take him at 3. But again, they need a lot of help in New England. They need somebody to get him the ball, and I think the Patriots could trade out of that spot and maybe get another receiver at 8 or 9. And if you get 2 picks, if you get Minnesota's 2 picks, you could draft a quarterback at 12 and probably a receiver at 23 if you wanted to, plus some more ammo you're going to get from Minnesota as well. So I don't think I would take him at 3, but
All right.
Well, the thing on New England here is, they had a quarterback there, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if he soured on them or they soured on him, but Mac Jones to me was a good quarterback there. And, he was battle tested from the SEC. They had that pipeline, Alabama to New England. I don't know if the whole Belichick thing falling out of favor there in New England had anything to do with it, but you bring a Drake May in. I'm not a big Drake May guy. I'm sorry. You talking about consistency. I got to see a little more consistency of him.
But remember, remember Gerard Mayo, the New England coach, was there with Belichick during the whole Mac Jones era. So he observed Mac Jones. Sounds like Mac Jones wasn't a great teammate. So, I think that was part of the reason they kind of jettisoned him out of there. I don't think he was a great teammate. His physical skills are not. Could he be an adequate quarterback for somebody? Yeah, but he's probably more in line to be a really good backup, kind of a Gardner Minshew kind of guy.
Here's the thing. Why didn't you bring in a guy like Vrabel there who knew how to coach quarterbacks over there in Tennessee? Bring him into New England. The familiarity would have been much more than what this guy's bringing.
Well, I think Mayo's also been a part of that Belichick staff, and
he was a player there for 8 or 10 years too. He played there, so he knows that culture inside and out, in that organization inside and out.
Going back to Mark's point, because he makes an astute one here, 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, but he was down from the year before. May had 38 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So what happened? You're not throwing the ball as much. You don't have your weapons. That could be somewhat of a red flag, but I still think May is one of the top quarterbacks. But listen, Harry made a great point. The Bucs kind of did it themselves. They drafted a Mike Evans, and then eventually they got themselves a quarterback. So if you feel like you don't have a quarterback in this draft and you want to go with the veteran presence like the Bucs did with McCown, which they're going to go with Brissett, I believe Brissett's there. You go with him, and then you draft a quarterback next year if you feel like this quarterback class isn't, or you go in the later rounds and do that.
Well, case in point, too, when Baker Mayfield was in Carolina, he kind of fell off a cliff. He resurrected himself in Los Angeles, and then he goes to Tampa Bay, and look what he does there. So I think it's the mindset. I think it was something to do with the city or the team or maybe the personnel there. Case in point with Baker Mayfield, compare him with Carolina, and then he goes to Tampa, and he's a totally different guy.
Yeah.
If New England decides to trade out to a team like Minnesota and get their two number ones, 11 and 23, I could see the Patriots at 11 taking Michael Penix too.
I agree, and I think Penix Jr. for any
he could play right now.
Yes.
You could plug in and play. Yes. You still could get a wide receiver at 23. You still have Jacoby Brissett. So Brissett needed to start the year and play the first couple of games before Penix got up to speed. You could do that.
He could probably get I think
23. Again, African-American coach, two African-American quarterbacks. I think that would be a good mix culturally as well. I think that if the Patriots trade out with a team like Minnesota or even a team like the Raiders potentially, I think you could see Michael Penix in New England as well.
Love it. Good stuff, guys. Thanks a lot for coming on. Mark, go ahead and promote yourself, and we'll get you out of here on that.
Pittsburgh Pirate podcast on Mondays and Fridays with Tarek Brock, their first base coach. So blessed to do that one. XM 203, Sirius 217 on Fridays. The WWDB out of Philadelphia now with Danielle Orsino joining the crew. Other than that, man, I'm so blessed to be a part of this with you guys on Wednesdays. And I love both you guys, Jason and you, Peter. God bless. I'll see you definitely next Wednesday.
Absolutely. See you next Wednesday. And thanks a lot for being a part of this Sports Web. Of course, the 8-year anniversary, a big part of it. The madman himself, former XPW announcer, of course, Turnbuckle Talk. we'll do that next Wednesday. Appreciate the time. Okay.
Anytime. Have a blessed week, guys. I love you.
Love you too, man. All right, let's go out to Jason Powers as we finish off here. Chop Robinson at 26. I like the pick. He's there. You could have gone with Kool-Aid. Maybe they go with the corner. I'm not.
And again, if there's doubt, then trade out.
Right.
Doubt equals trade out.
Love it.
Somebody would want to trade up and get a receiver, get one of these receivers. I can promise you there'll be a market if the Bucs want to trade. And you don't have to trade out of the first round. You could trade out from 26 to 30. You could pick up an extra 4th or 5th round pick by moving down 3 or 4 spots. So I don't think there's you don't have to trade out of the round if you don't want to, but if there's not the guy that you really love there, then trade back a little bit.
All right, Jason Powers, go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution.
Yep. Check out the No Quarter Given podcast if you want to get some more Bucs talk. Me and Peter do a little nice breakdown of the offseason, all the moves, additions, subtractions, coaching moves, all that stuff. We break it down. We give some draft talk for tomorrow night and over the weekend, some names to be aware of, which we've talked about some of these names tonight. But we also get into the later rounds as well, some other positional needs. So check that out. Powers on Sports Podcast. And go to the YouTube channel, Jason Powers Sports Channel, for some good video content as well.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, boss?
You got it, brother. See you, bub.
All right, see ya. And we will be back tomorrow night. Thanks a lot to all the guests. Harry the Greek, J.C. Allen, Andrew Fulbear, the Big Board, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Jason Powers, Mark Mancini. I know I may be forgetting somebody. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody at this point. KR, you killed it tonight, and hopefully you'll win because you're one of the fans. And, of course, Frankie there. If you win, you get lunch on me. We'll be back tomorrow night for a live draft edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It gets busier and busier. We never stop. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Give to YouTube Super Chats. I tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Let's get this guy on.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
Let's go out to Jim. Jim, welcome to the Evolution here on a late night edition of the Sports Web Fan Mock Draft Edition. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to tell you, was a happy anniversary to your show.
Thank you.
And I hope y'all had a good draft. I can't listen. I try to do a little fantasy football. I got to keep up with that. I'm listening to my draft. I don't watch enough college. I was trying to watch my Florida State, but
yeah, well, Jared Verse was on the board there for a little bit, but he went off the board. Hopefully he can be there tomorrow night. My friend Keon Coleman may be in that conversation. Stay tuned because the next couple days for a Florida State fan, it could be wine and roses, my friend, instead of cheese and crackers like the committee did to this team by not putting them in the national championship playoffs. So a lot of players drafted in the first 2 rounds.
I hope somebody pick up Jordan Travis, man.
Well, I definitely think that's a possibility with him going, in the 6th round or getting undrafted and being able to pick his own situation. Coming off the injury, you look at his numbers and they're there. We'll see if he can hold up if he doesn't have any other major injuries. I think, the red flag with him would be, he's coming off an injury. Does he have the NFL body to sustain everything else? He's got the intangibles. He's gone through the adverse situations. I like him in the later rounds or being undrafted. And if he goes undrafted, he can pick his team that he wants to go to.
Yep. So who's did the wide receiver go to the draft? That big call we had?
Keon Coleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a possibility, and he could be there at 26. If he's there at 26, damn it, Jim, do you take him? Do you run to the podium? Do you trade down? Because if he gets past 26 there, he's definitely, in my opinion, going to the Buffalo Bills. What do you do with Keon Coleman? If the Bucs are on the board, he's on the board, do you go with him?
Yeah, I guess it depends if we need him. We really don't need a tall wide receiver, but I'll take him.
I think you definitely could take him, and the reason why you do that is because Mike Evans is getting up there in age, of course, on a 2-year contract, trying to surpass Jerry Rice, and you got Chris Godwin coming into a free agent year, so you're not sure if you're going to take that cap hit. You get a young wide receiver, Trey Palmer, very young, very explosive, but also very inconsistent, so you have your 3rd wide receiver in Coleman. People are saying, well, he's too slow. Turn on the tape. Men lie, women lie, but tape doesn't lie. And the
Right.
tape definitely doesn't lie when it comes to Coleman at Florida State.
Yeah, he was catching them out the air like kind of remind me of a young Mike Evans. He was doing a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, anything else here, Jim? You got to tune in tomorrow night because we're going to have the live draft reaction, and no matter how late it is, you know me, I'm a crazy freak. I'll stay up all night long until the Bucs pick, and if the Bucs don't pick, they trade down. We'll be back here on Friday night. We'll probably be back here on Friday night anyway, because I love going live when it comes to the draft, and I just want to say you're one of the main callers that helps this show grow, my friend, and you're definitely a part of the reason why we've been on for 8 years and have a 200,000 to 500,000 reach on Facebook. Damn it, Jim.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
thanks.
definitely check in with you tomorrow.
All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Thanks a lot for the support. And we'll see if we can keep this show on another 8 years. All right?
All right, yeah. Take it easy.
All right, man. Good stuff there. All right. So like and subscribe to the Sports Web. I want to read this comment for the night. This ends it off for me. Love you, Peter Blake. Knee, baby, baby. Love it. Love you too, baby. And I love the fact of all the support tonight, all the phone callers, all the guests. That's what we do here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Is it a TV show? Is it a radio show? It's both. 8 years strong, going strong here. Salute to Sean, the Sports Don. Salute to Rich from Clearwater, everybody that's been a part of this show. Thank you very much for making it possible. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open and do 3 things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Ready? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, happy 8-year anniversary and happy birthday to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Have a good night. That created all this, these mock drafts, and the reason why you watch the draft in the first place, right? I always tell the story, I'm starting out in sports broadcasting being about 14, 15 years old. I think I was about 15, 16 years old, and I have the Mel Kiper draft report, and somehow I lose it. So I'm supposed to go on TV and do a mock draft of who I think the Bucs are going to go for. Now, at the time, being biased, I saw I wanted Simeon Rice to be the guy. Of course, he wasn't there. He got drafted by 3. Mel said that Simeon was not going to be there. I should have taken Mel's advice. The point was that I lost his draft report, called him on the phone, talked to him, and he actually sent me a copy of that draft report signed. True story. Absolutely. Nothing but respect for Mel Kiper Jr. Awesome. Still messed up on the mock draft. But I had the information right in front of me. You could have just gone with Mel. You should have gone with Mel. You would have been right on that, and I didn't. I went with somebody else. And, of course, the Bucs that year, I believe, ended up, and this was 96, drafting a Reagan Upshaw from California. I guess you guys remember that.